Oklahoma. Stanford. 2 teams, 1 bowl, the Sun Bowl. Which team will end the season on a high note? Up the middle to the 5. Cuts it inside. Cuts upfield. Dives for the end zone. And Toby into the end zone. Touchdown, Toby Gerhart.
Give to Brown, down the middle, in the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. On it to 6, to the 5. Touchdown, Broyles. They get it. 10 seconds. Caught. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Welcome to El Paso, Texas, where the New Year's party starts early in this sun-drenched part of the country. You can paint the city red today as folks from Oklahoma and Stanford have traveled to the Southwestern Gym in the desert. CBS Sports is proud to present the Brute Sun Bowl, the Oklahoma Sooners and the 21st-ranked Stanford Cardinal. Welcome to sunny, windy El Paso, Texas. The Brute Sun Bowl, a sellout crowd dressed in red and white, the color of choice for Stanford and Oklahoma. And hi everyone, Craig Bowlerjack, so glad you're with us, and CBS is glad to bring you the Sun Bowl for the 42nd consecutive season. How about Stanford? Well, they come in bowling for the first time since 2001, a strong run game with Toby Gerhart, the Heisman Trophy runner-up. And for Oklahoma, it was a season of injuries, but their defense rolls in today very, very strong. With me, my partner, Steve Berline. Steve, Stanford bowling for the first time since 2001. We know about the ground game, but we got some concerns today at the quarterback position.
Well, you're exactly right today. The guy that's been pulling the trigger all year for Stanford is redshirt freshman quarterback Andrew Luck. A little bit of bad luck 2 weeks ago against Notre Dame. He broke a finger on his throwing hand. Very doubtful we'll see him today, but it's a great opportunity for senior Tavita Pritchard making his 20th career start. He's played a lot of big games, but really when you talk about Stanford, it starts with this guy right here, Toby Gerhart, the senior running back, second in the Heisman Trophy balloting this year, closest balloting ever. This guy truly is a special football player. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he can do it all. And if you want to stop Stanford, Oklahoma had better find a way to stop that man right there, Toby Gerhart.
Let's talk more about Oklahoma, because after the quarterback, Sam Bradford, went down not once but twice, Steve, really OU's defense, the Sooners really stepped up on the defensive side of the football.
Well, not surprising that Oklahoma comes up with a great defensive football team. They always seem to do that every year. Bob Stoops very happy with the way his defense has played this year. They have been really spectacular. 3 shutouts on the year. They're big, they're strong, they're athletic, they're fast. Nothing too complex. They just come after you every single time. And if you're going to play Oklahoma, you better play your best game to have any kind of chance whatsoever. And if you want to have a chance against them even further, you start by containing these 2 guys right there. Gerald McCoy, the All-American defensive tackle, very disruptive. And then on the edge, Jeremy Beal, 11 sacks on the year. He gets after the passer. You got to stop those 2 guys.
Coming up, can the Heisman runner-up find a hole or two in the Sooner defense? The Brute Sun Bowl next on CBS. CBS Sports presentation of the Brute Sun Bowl is sponsored by Cars.com, where confidence comes standard. Sonic, it's not just good, it's Sonic good. And by the 76th Annual Brute Sun Bowl, sponsored by Brute. Brute, the essence of man.
Tell me this right now. Who's got a better opportunity in the country than us?
No way!
Where would you rather be than here?
Nowhere!
Nowhere. Bring it in here tight. I want you in here tight now.
Let's go, baby!
Bring it in here tight. Oh, give me the competitors. Give me the thoroughbreds up here.
Let's go!
I want to look into your eyes. I want to see them bulging. Let's go! I want to feel some heartbeats. Bring it in here.
Let's go!
Bring it in here. Let's go! Let's see some lips quivering.
Let's go!
You guys ready to play?
Yeah!
Let me tell you one thing now. We all of us, grew up envisioning ourselves believing in ourselves that we are competitors, that we are warriors. Did we not?
Yes, sir.
And when that critical moment comes, there'll be one of us, we would be the conquering hero.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me tell you something. That day, that hour is now.
Yes, sir.
It is now. Let's go out there. My prayer for you is this. Did we leave no doubt?
No doubt, fellas.
We leave no regrets out there. Yes, sir. I got a question for you. What we like to ask around here. And you answer. Do you believe?
I believe.
Do you believe?
I believe.
Do you believe?
Oh, it's been a long road back for Stanford and the architect, that man, Jim Harbaugh. It's time to play. And from the Big 12, it's Oklahoma. The Sooners 7-5, making their 11th straight bowl appearance under head coach Bob Stoops. So Oklahoma's on the field, and you heard that emotional speech a moment ago from Jim Harbaugh. He brings on Stanford from the Pac-10. On the field today with us here on CBS, a big welcome, Sam Ryan.
Hey, Craig, and you mentioned earlier that Stanford quarterback Andrew Luck will not be starting today because the broken finger in his throwing hand suffered in the final game of the regular season. Well, he actually had 2 small pins removed from that finger earlier this week, Monday actually, here in El Paso. Now, head coach Jim Harbaugh told us what actually happened was part of the bone had chipped off. So even though the pins were removed, it still needs time to heal. He was wearing a splint today for pregame, and they really just don't want to take any chances with him, Craig.
All right, Sam, thanks. We'll be checking with you all afternoon. Stay tuned. Kickoff of the 76 Sun Bowl next on CBS. And a happy New Year's Eve from El Paso, Texas. Weather today, temperature 50 degrees. It'll be sunny, but gusty winds on hand for Oklahoma and Stanford. Bob Stoops in his 11th year at Oklahoma won a national championship back in 2000. His counterpart today, Jim Harbaugh, in his 3rd season with Stanford, and has taken the Cardinal to their first bowl game since 2001. Emotional, very emotional Jim Harbaugh. This game, like all college football games on CBS, is brought to you in crystal clear CBS high definition. And Steve Berline, after listening to Jim Harbaugh in that locker room, everybody in the stands, well, they could have heard it. We did. Let's go play.
Well, I'll tell you what, I love Jim Harbaugh. I came out of Notre Dame the same year he came out of Michigan. We had 3 battles against each other over the years, and there's not a guy in my age group bracket that I respect more than Jim Harbaugh. He's a football guy, but more importantly, he's a good guy. Obviously pretty intense, and he brings a lot of energy to this whole thing. My only wish for him today is that he doesn't peak too soon. I want him to get through the 4 quarters. I don't know if he can do it.
Well, Stanford in their first bowl game, as I mentioned, since 2001. They had a terrific season of 8-4. They were 6-3 in the Pac-10. And, of course, a season finale victory over Notre Dame, 45-38. Oklahoma rolls in with a record of 7-5. I think a terrific season. They battled through not one, not numerous injuries. And, of course, Sam Bradford, the quarterback, went down in week 1.
Well, this is a team that's faced adversity all year long. You talked about Sam Bradford. They've been through so many different combinations. We'll get into it today with their offensive line up front. The bottom line, they're a little bit disappointed to be here, but they're very eager to prove that this is a program on the rise. A lot of good young players. You start with their quarterback, Landry Jones. They've got some players that really get Bob Stoops and his staff excited about the future.
So the Stanford Cardinal and the Sooners of Oklahoma. And the Sooners won the toss. They chose to take the football to start the second half. So we'll see Stanford, and we will see the Heisman Trophy runner-up Toby Gerhart here at the Sun Bowl on this first series. Matthew Moreland has it teed up at the 30-yard line, and Stanford is set to receive.
And Oklahoma has chosen to put Stanford into the wind today. The breeze is blowing pretty strong and pretty consistent from the backside of Oklahoma. Stanford will have to deal with that early today.
Back to receive, Chris Owusu, and at the 5-yard line, a short kick taken at the 20, finds a little seam, and still pushing the pile up to around the 27-yard line. So for Stanford, the quarterback today, the senior is Toby Gerhart, takes over for the injured Andrew Luck. And Pritchard makes his 20th career start today. He started 12 games a year ago as a junior. You see his career numbers of really 2,800 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 22 interceptions. This offense built around Toby Gerhart. And Steve, today, they have to play honest football. I'm talking balance with the run and the pass. So under center is Pritchard. Jim Dre, the tight end, goes in motion. And the first carry, guess who? Gerhart met at the line, maybe a yard, as we check out our starting lineups presented by Home Depot. And that offensive line, well, they call themselves the Union. Blue-collar guys, Union leader is the right tackle, Chris Marinelli. And the Union takes care of one guy. That's the running back, Toby Gerhart, the Heisman runner-up. And Steve averages 145 yards a game.
And as we can see, they're going to try and establish Toby Gerhart early. Oklahoma knows that they've got to shut down Toby Gerhart, or they're going to get sick of seeing that at the football.
Two wide receivers set, the lone back Gerhart, play action pass as Pritchard sets up, throws incomplete. He wanted the tight end Dre, and there is, that brings up 3rd down and 9. Defensively for Oklahoma, really one of the best in all of college football. The defensive end, Jeremy Beal, proud owner of 11 sacks. The linebackers, very good. Travis Lewis leads the Sooners in total tackles with 100. And today, the talented corner Brian Jackson could have limited play today because of a mild concussion that he suffered in practice. We'll have to wait and see. So Steve, 2 plays, 2 running plays to Gerhart as we watch Stanford now 3rd down shotgun. Pritchard pedals back inside his own 20-yard line, throws a bullet across the middle. Ball is tipped, picked off. Travis Lewis, the Will linebacker, right place, right time. That ball was batted in the air, and Lewis grabs it for an interception.
Well, a bad situation for Stanford right away. 3rd and long. Toby Pritchard, not truly a throwing quarterback. You saw right there, threw it into heavy traffic. That was Jonathan Nelson, the safety, number 3, that really the ball hit him right in the chest and then popped up, and boy, not a good start for Stanford.
Well, Oklahoma's defense, we talked about how strong this team is. They've now intercepted a pass in 96 of their last 126 ball games. And now to the ground goes Oklahoma. And down to the 25-yard line is Chris Brown. The quarterback for OU is a redshirt freshman, Landry Drones, took over for the injured Sam Bradford. And how about 23 touchdowns on the season? Oklahoma likes to run that hurry-up offense. They pick up 5 on 1st down.
There is not much time between plays with these guys. I'm telling you, it's tough to keep up with them.
Back to the ground, Brown breaks a tackle, and there's a flag along the near sideline at the 25-yard line. Bo McNally, the free safety, with the tackle. Our chance to listen in on John O'Neill, the referee, the crew from the Big Ten.
5 men in the backfield against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Let's check out now our starting lineups for Oklahoma, presented by Home Depot. Up front, we mentioned, Steve, a series of injuries. The All-American left tackle Trent Williams now will go at center, and 2 big offensive threats. We will see DeMarco Murray. We'll see plenty of Chris Brown, and we'll also see Ryan Broyles. So the 5-yard penalty makes it 2nd down 10. Again, the handoff, little seam off the left side. Brown stacked up, driven back at the 30, 31-yard line. Let's check out the Cardinal defense. Thomas Kaiser, defensive end, always in the backfield, 9 sacks on the year. Will Powers anchors the linebacking core. In the secondary, the left corner, keep an eye on Richard Sherman. 54 stops, a couple of picks on the season. So 3rd down and 10 after the interception. Oklahoma at the Stanford 30-yard line. Jones from the shotgun steps up, throws a dart over the middle. It's caught. Ryan Broyles, touchdown, Oklahoma. Just like that. 30-yard strike. Broyles with his 13th touchdown reception of the year. And Landry Jones, 24 touchdown tosses on the season.
Well, you saw Ryan Broyles shoot right down the middle of the field. Bob Stoops and his staff had the right play called at the right time. 2 deep safeties split. Let Ryan Broyles, the biggest playmaker, I believe, on this Oklahoma team, shoot right down the middle of the field. Stanford has got to be much more assignment sound because you're obviously seeing some superior athletes on Oklahoma.
Patrick O'Hara is in to try the point after attempt, 6 for 6 on the season. He shared duties with Jimmy Stevens throughout the season. But how about Broyles? 13th touchdown catch, a 30-yard strike from Landry Jones after the turnover by Stanford. 7-0 Sooners at the Sun Bowl in El Paso. LG, as a proud NCAA corporate partner, invites you to celebrate game day moments here at the Sun Bowl. Well, the new year is just hours away, and here in El Paso, they've already begun painting the town red. Yeah, life sure is good in the Southwestern gym known as El Paso, Texas. Well, Stanford gives up the football on an interception, and Oklahoma scores 3 plays, 30 yards, and it's Broyles with his 13th touchdown reception of the season.
Well, let's talk about exactly what happened on that play, Craig. You're going to see right here is Ryan Broyles. Watch the 2 safeties. Right here, Delano Howell for Oklahoma. You're going to see Broyles run right down the middle of the field, pretty much untouched. The safeties got nice width, too much width to let a guy running free down the middle of the field. You can see right there, there's that whole space in the middle of the field that Ryan Broyles is just too good of an athlete. The ball thrown on time, on the money by Landry Jones. And that is 6 points for Oklahoma. The very, very perfect way for them. Bad way for Stanford to start this ball game.
You know, Steve, it's amazing how opportunistic Oklahoma's defense actually is. 21st consecutive game that they have forced a turnover. And one reason why you start so strong, I mean, this Oklahoma team has outscored their opponents in the first quarter of this season now, 103-13.
Yeah, that's an average of a little over a point for the whole season in the first quarter allowed per game. They're very, very solid, very sound. They like to get you down early. Obviously, their offense has struggled a lot this year with all the change, but this defense has made it very difficult on every opponent all year long.
Moreland ready to kick away. Owusu, sophomore from Westlake Village, California. Another short kick just taken along the sideline to the 10-yard line. He takes the shot at the 22-yard line. What a hit. Welcome to El Paso.
That was some serious pop right there. That's one of the things I think is going to be one of the big issues today for Stanford is how can they match up athletically to this Oklahoma team. Stanford, obviously a lot of great athletes there, but across the board, Oklahoma, very, very, very talented athletically.
Well, how will Pritchard react after the interception and the touchdown? They're going to stay with their game plan, and they push the pile with Gerhart. Gerhart averages 145 yards a game, a 3-year letterman, and Steve, I tell you, it was a very tight Heisman race. He finished second, just behind Mark Ingram, and we've got an injured Sooner down at the 26-yard line. That's the defensive tackle, Adrian Taylor. We'll take a quick break. Come back to El Paso after this on CBS. Well, flying high above, MetLife is providing today's aerial coverage of the game below here in El Paso, Texas. We'll see if our thoughts are with Adrian Taylor. You would not want to see the replay, and we've chosen not to show it. It is a leg injury, And this fine young defensive tackle who told us he will be back for his senior year is taken off the field here very early in the 76 Sun Bowl.
Very, very talented junior out of Mansfield, Texas. You hate to see any injury to any player at any point. Obviously, this looked like a significant injury to his leg, and you hope he can come back strong next year and get back to the level that he's played at for this Oklahoma football team.
Steve, you've been involved in so many games at the collegiate and NFL level. Now, how do you handle this type of impact emotion so early in a bowl game?
Well, your team is going to handle it one of two ways. You're going to get a little bit shell shocked and get distracted from your overall focus, which is to come out and produce play after play, or you're going to use it to motivate you and say, you know what, that's one of our warriors that's gone down. We've lost the soldier. We've got to make up the difference and go out there and play harder than we even expected to for him.
You see Gerald McCoy ran over, try to give him support. Those two play side by side and are quite a threat. So Jamarcus McFarland, a freshman, and a Lufkin, Texas, number 97, will join the starters up front with Beal McCoy and Frank Alexander. So we go back to football. 2nd down and 5. Stanford down by 7 after the early interception and the touchdown by Broyles. Shotgun is Pritchard. Gerhart spinning up to around the 29-yard line, and Jeremy Beal quickly with a stop. Now Gerhart finds the end zone like no other. He leads the NCAA this season with 26. How about Ricky Dobbs? Beat up a little bit this season. Great running quarterback out of Navy. Jock Rogers with 21. Buckram from UTEP right here in El Paso with 21 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's been a pretty impressive year for Toby Gerhart in every sense. Everything he's done this year has been pretty much a record for this Stanford, the history of the Stanford Cardinal program. So he's a guy that's going to be sought after significantly next year without a doubt.
Play clock down to 2. Gerhart from the left side and knocked down by Keenan Clayton, senior out of Sulphur Springs, Texas. Ryan Reynolds, the middle linebacker, in to stop Gerhart. It takes not 1 but 2 to bring down this big guy.
Well, it looks like they stopped him a little bit short too. This Oklahoma defense is not going to fall into the trap of a lot of the teams that have played Stanford this year. They've been very good at scheming versus their appointments. Oklahoma today, very sound defensively. They know their assignments. They're flying to the football, and they're telling Toby Gerhart early in this ball game, we are going to be on you all day long.
So David Green sets a punt, averaging just under 41 yards a kick. He's a left footer, and Broyles, who scored that first touchdown, waves a fair catch, takes a bounce, still rolling inside the 20, and they'll touch it down at the 16-yard line. A 52-yard kick. Green's longest of the season. Oklahoma up 7, back at it when we come back on CBS. Well, the Sooners are making their 3rd Sun Bowl appearance. How about back in 1981? Oklahoma made its first trip to El Paso. Barry Switzer's Sooners dominated Houston, both sides of the football. A 40-14 victory. And Oklahoma returned here to El Paso in 1993, defeating Texas Tech 41-10. MVP Cale Gundy tossed 3 touchdown passes in that game. By the way, Gundy is the current running backs coach at Oklahoma. And the Sooners on top by 7. And Landry Jones set to go back on the field. And Steve, let's go above the line.
Well, Oklahoma, I think the key today, Craig, is when they get their opportunities to cash in the red zone, they've got to do it. And I'm not talking about field goals, I'm talking touchdowns. It's got to happen. For Stanford, though, I don't think they can match up physically all day long with Oklahoma. They've got to find a way to get the football. Turnovers. 1 or 2 big turnovers at the right time, and that'll keep Stanford in this ballgame, give their offense a chance to score with Oklahoma.
So Landry Jones and Oklahoma goes back to work. Hit Broyles with a 30-yard touchdown strike after the interception by OU's defense. You got to tip your hat to this redshirt freshman, by the way. Sam Bradford, Heisman winner, comes back injured early against Brigham Young in the opener, and all of a sudden this kid, wide-eyed, comes in and takes over the OU offense.
Fairly big shoes to fill, but I think he's done a great job developing this year.
DeMarco Murray in the backfield for the first time. He's a slasher, and he is stacked up, driven back by Kaiser. the left side defensive end. You know, Oklahoma really battling through injury, Steve, all season long, mostly coming from the offensive line. You have Brody Eldridge out with a neck against Nebraska. Haburn goes down with a dislocated ankle against Texas Tech. Jarvis Jones, a heel fracture, and the list goes on and on.
Oh, it's been ridiculous, really, when you think about it.
Jones flush from the pocket, on the rollout, throws off his back foot, puts it up, and it's out of bounds.
But on that note, Craig, you know, you mentioned all the change. Bob Stoops told us at one point this year he had a third-team tight end starting at right tackle against the number 11 team in the country for 85 snaps. That's how desperate they got this year. They were digging into their tight ends to become offensive linemen.
And they've had to flop their left tackle, their All-American Trent Williams, to play center today. 3rd down 11 at the 16-yard line. Shotgun, Jones, good protection. Now it breaks down. He'll step up, throw, while the pass wide open along the far sideline. And it's Rattery, the tight end who plays along with Hanna. Only his 9th catch of the season, but standing all alone on the far side of the football field and picks up 38 yards.
Give credit to Landry Jones. You see the way he stepped up and then out. About time. It's hard for a defensive back to cover everybody all the way up the field, all over the field with the quarterback running around for a long period of time. Landry Jones did a great job as we see flags in the air. Landry Jones did a great job finding Rattery on the sideline for a huge play for Oklahoma.
Illegal substitution. 12 men on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Craig, that's one of the things that Stanford really has to struggle with. This Oklahoma offense is so quick, especially after big plays. They get on the ball quickly. If you get caught with substitutions trying to get in and out the field, they will make the snap. The referees will call the penalty because you got too many people on the field.
Well, it's now 1st down and 5. 3 wideouts near side. Shotgun. Again, Landry, handoff. Murray stacked up at the 40-yard line, and a host of Cardinal defenders in on the stop.
When we watched this Oklahoma offense practice this week, it's really a machine. It's a finely tuned machine. You see Landry Jones, he's looking at the coach right now, getting the play. The whole team is looking at the coaches to get the play. They pass it along quickly, and then boom, that ball is snapped.
There's Landry Jones again, taking a glance along the sideline. In motion, James Hanna. They take the handoff, throw, picked off at the 30. Wide open running. Bo McNally, can he go? One man to beat. And Murray tackles him down inside the 20-yard line.
Well, Craig, there's one of the turnovers maybe that we were talking about in the above the lines. Right there, Bo McNally. About as easy an interception you're ever going to get. He was in the perfect position. I don't know exactly what Landry Jones was thinking, to be honest with you. He rolled left, and Bo McNally just sitting right there waiting for it. Stepped up, was ready to make the break if Landry Jones took the short man in the flat, and then Bo McNally, once he gets the football, shows he knows a little bit about what to do with it as well. But you're going to see Landry Jones coming across, just lost vision for some reason of Bo McNally. Have no idea what he was thinking, what he saw, but a big play for this Stanford defense for sure. Give the ball at the 14-yard line. Now they've got a chance to cash in. See right there, Bo McNally, not known as a guy that knows exactly what to do with the football, but sure enough right there, he took it, knew which way to go, north and south. Give his offense a chance to make a...
Trent Williams just went off the field very slow for Oklahoma. Their All-American who's playing at the center spot today. So Bo McNally gives Stanford new life inside the 15-yard line.
Well, really important for Tavita Pritchard right here to be smart with the football.
Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds. Thank you.
They want the play clock reset, and they get it done.
A little bit of a shaky start for this Stanford offense to this point. Tavita Pritchard's got to realize the opportunity that he has right now. They've got to come away with at least some points on this drive.
Movement up front. Pritchard. Audibles from the eye. Dre goes in motion. They spread it out. Here comes Gerhart. slips and slides down to the 10-yard line, and see, let's go back above the line.
Well, for Stanford, obviously, Oklahoma's going to be keying on Toby Gerhart. They've got to make some plays in the play-action passing game. Play off of Toby Gerhart, the focus of Oklahoma on him. Make some plays in the passing game. Oklahoma, do what you're doing. Dominate this game early. Make Stanford really get back on their heels from the beginning of the ball game.
Taylor, the freshman. They try to mix it up a little bit. Gerhart's been their money man, and Stephon Taylor out of Mansfield, Texas with the carry. Keenan Clayton, the strong side linebacker, making a stop for Oklahoma.
So what it is, Craig, that makes this Stanford offense so difficult to defend in so many ways. Right there, you saw the Wildcat with Taylor back in there. They do so many creative things from a scheme standpoint that is very difficult for a defense to know exactly what's going on by personnel groupings, by formations. Really crazy. You see a substitution going on right now. A lot of it, and Jim Harbaugh taking a timeout because that would have been an illegal substitution.
So the first timeout used by the Cardinal. And they are driving down 7 with 7:24 to play here in the opening quarter of the Sun Bowl. 3rd down and 1. And we'll step aside for a break. OU on top by 7. Well, like Oklahoma, Stanford's making its 3rd Sun Bowl appearance back in '77. There's the legendary coach Bill Walsh. Stanford defeated LSU 23-14. We moved the clock up to 1996. The Cardinal rolled over Michigan State 38-0. And that gave head coach Tyrone Willingham his only career bowl win. And a little Gatorade to go with it. High above the Sun Bowl, Oklahoma on top by 7 over the 21st ranked Stanford Cardinal. CBSSports.com has complete coverage of the bowl season. You'll get the latest news, analysis of every matchup, video previews, and live scoring game centers for each and every game. It's all online at CBSSports.com. So it's 3rd and 1 after the timeout. And a good timeout by Harbaugh, as you mentioned, Steve, because of a substitution issue. And now they've got things set. What do you look for? The money man, you going with Gerhart?
Well, you know, you never know what to expect from Stanford. They do so many creative things down here. They got the big tight end, Jim Dre, number 83, who they like to try and find ways to get him the ball in the end zone. But you cannot eliminate the possibility of big Toby Gerhart getting the ball right here anytime.
Well, you just need one to keep the drive alive, just inside the 5-yard line. Sure enough, with a stutter step, pushing a pile. And that's what Gerhart does so well. Yards after contact, very much like Mark Ingram, who won the Heisman Trophy from Alabama.
Yeah, very much like Mark Ingram, but they're very different styles in terms of the sheer brute power that Toby Gerhart brings. I mean, he looks, if he doesn't see a nice clear lane, he looks for someone to run over and lower that shoulder on. Now, right here in this situation, Craig, 1st and goal for Stanford. A lot of times they like to get the ball to their fullback, Owen Marisic. They give him the ball on a quick handoff. They're going to motion out of the backfield and maybe give him the ball here.
From the eye, instead they go to Toby Gerhart. There's the pads popping close and just inside the 1-yard line. Well, what a brute he is at 6'1", 235.
Wow, great physical run. That's the power play that Stanford really prefers to run. That's Toby Gerhart's favorite play. You can see these offensive linemen take a lot of pride across the front, starting with Chase Beeler, the center, David DeCastro, Chris Marinelli of the right tackle. The senior statesmen of this bunch, they really like to get after people up front.
Well, Stanford loads up that backfield. Quick handoff, touchdown. Marisic. You called it.
That's what we talked about. It's about the only time he gets the football in these goal-to-goal situations. He's only carried the ball, he's only carried the ball 8 times this year, or 7 times. That's his 4th touchdown. So you can see he gets the ball down there close to the end zone. They feel like he's got the power, the brute force to get it in there. He knows what to do. Just get that ball across the goal line, get up, get back and ready to go to work again in the next drive.
Nate Whitaker is set to try the extra point. He's made 50 of 50 on the season. Good snap, good hold, kick is through, and we're tied at 7. So both teams taking advantage of turnovers. Marisic from 1 yard out. We're tied at 7 in El Paso. And high above the Sun Bowl, Stanford and Oklahoma tied up at 7 apiece. 5 plays, 14 yards, and Marisic takes it in from 1 yard out. Of course, it all happened because of Bo McNally's interception.
Very important, Craig, for Stanford to cash in on that drive.
Time now for the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Action Cam.
All right, watch right here, Craig. You're going to see that's the defensive tackle, Granger. When Toby Gerhart comes running this way, the whole flow of everybody is going to be that way. But you're going to see Marisek right inside with the over adjustment to Toby Gerhart going out to the left. Marisek slips inside of everybody, and that's why that play is so effective for Stanford. The focus on Toby Gerhart that a defense must pay attention to. It gives Marisek a chance just to get a little seam to get the ball in the end zone. You can see there are even a couple of missed blocks up front, but because the defensive linemen and the linebackers for Oklahoma were so caught up in Toby Gerhart, they ran right past Owen Marisek.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you mentioned it. How about his touchdown to carry ratio? 8 carries now this season, 4 touchdowns.
And about 8 carries for about 15 yards and 4 touchdowns. So a big play man. No, I wouldn't quite go that far, but I would call him very steady in the red zone, and Jim Harbaugh has a lot of confidence in him.
So 7 all our score here in El Paso. So Whitaker has it teed up. First consecutive PAT. This one angles to the far corner and is taken up the 5-yard line by the Franks. And Franks stacked up, nowhere to go at the 16-yard line. Wednesday on Showtime, make sure you join JB, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth, and Warren Sapp on the Emmy Award-winning Inside the NFL. It's cable's longest-running show, Inside the NFL, Wednesday on Showtime. Well, Oklahoma goes back to work. 74 yards of total offense, 24 for Stanford, and both committing a turnover. Both led to touchdowns for the opponent.
Right, and Bob Stoops told us the one concern with Landry Jones is he's thrown a few more interceptions than what Oklahoma is used to. A lot of good things he's done, but he's got to cut down on the turnovers.
Murray, the ball carrier, slammed down after a pickup of 1. Number 41 coming up off the pile. That's McAndrew, along with the linebacker Scove. Well, Stanford defensively giving up about 400 yards of total offense as Jones rolls down on that quick hurry-up offense, and DeJuan Miller makes his first grab just outside the 25-yard line.
Well, Craig, you talk about this defense. Jim Harbaugh, I think if there's one area he feels they've got significant room to improve, it's the defense. He said, we have not been a dominant defense. We have not fought the way we want to fight. He wants to see more out of this defense, but they're young and they're up and coming, and they're very opportunistic when they get the chance.
Oklahoma going to work in a hurry. On the rollout, Jones throws on the run, is caught. Big yards, Miller with his second grab, and he's close to midfield. DeJuan Miller, 32nd reception of the season, and a pickup of 22.
Well, Stanford's having a hard time adjusting to the different formations and play actions that Oklahoma's throwing at him right now. We've seen 2 plays in a row where there hadn't been a Stanford defender anywhere around the receiver, and it makes the throw and catch nice and easy for Landry Jones and his teammates.
Yeah, 3rd play of 10 yards or more here in the first quarter. Oklahoma on the move at their own 46-yard line. Play action, little flip to the far side of the field. That's Broyles, the playmaker. Has a couple of Cardinals miss him, spins out of another tackle. Now he's going the wrong way. He's back at the 40. He's at the 45 and steps out of bounds at the 49-yard line.
That was about a 53-yard run to pick up 3 yards. You're going to see Broyles showing what it is that makes him so unique, his ability to make people miss. Break tackles, speed to the outside, all for about a 3-yard gain.
Steve, let's give him 4.
All right,
Officially
we'll give him 4.
A 4-yard gain at midfield. Double tight set with Hanna and Rattery. And again, you watch Landry Jones work this offense as he takes a look at Bob Stoops and company. Trying to spread it out to Marco Murray. Caught and dropped by Kaiser. A defensive end with the tackle, is 44th of the season.
Well, you're going to see Kaiser right here. He's just going to come and hold his ground and fight up the field. Does a great job of making sure that DeMarco Murray cannot get up the field, get to the edge. Strong enough to bring him down with that one right arm. Take him to the ground.
Now Oklahoma on the day 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. Jones getting the play from the sideline on 3rd down and 6 under 4 minutes of play in the quarter. They'll send Hanna, the tight end, in motion. In the shotgun, Jones steps up, throws, has the run, and it's a completion and a first down. And again, it's all about DeJuan Miller. I mean, this has been DeJuan Miller's drive as they're inside Stanford territory.
Well, it's just a single safety up top. You can see the safety going back to the middle of the field. Landry Jones very quick, very decisive with his decision to get that ball to Miller on the outside.
Well, they'll pick up a 16, and there's no play as Oklahoma is really pushing the tempo. You see this drive, 2 carries, 4 passes, 50 yards, and the clock coming up on a 3-minute drive. And see what they're trying to do, maybe just snapping the ball too quickly.
It can never be too quick for a Bob Stoops offense, I don't think.
Play action, Jones on the rollout, throws in traffic, caught again, Miller, the 15-yard line. Well, no one can chase down DeJuan Miller.
That was really a nice throw by Landry Jones. You had Cheeky Amajoy, who was in pretty good coverage that time. Same play that Landry Jones hit a little bit earlier on that bootleg out to the right side with Miller coming across the field. Better covered there, but a great throw by Landry Jones.
Amajoy's on my all-name team. Chike Amajoy. Backs up Scove at the will linebacker.
Took this timeout.
And now there's a timeout. So it's an official's timeout with 3:09 to play. And Oklahoma and Stanford tied at 7, and OU is on the move inside the 15-yard line.
Well, this Stanford defense has seen the spread offense this year. They play Oregon every year, very similar. I don't know if the pace can really simulate how fast this Oklahoma offense really works.
Jones this time goes under center. Little stutter step move by Murray, and he crashes past the 15 up to around the 12, 13-yard line. McAndrew, number 41, with the stop.
Well, the thing that Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator for Stanford, told us is the most difficult is staying with the speed and space with Oklahoma. He said you can't keep up with these guys, how fast they want to get the ball in open space.
Shotgun again, and it's a little pitch and catch caught by Jazz Reynolds to the 12-yard line. And the clock continues to run. This type of drive, eating up the clock. You've got to be in shape, Steve Berline. I don't think you could. I don't know how you would handle it.
I don't know if I could have played quarterback. Too much running around there by Landry Jones. Too fast. You're right.
3rd down and 4. OU 4 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. Inside the 10-yard line. Shotgun Jones. The near sideline. It's caught by DeMarco Murray. And Scove, the freshman out of Piedmont, California, with the tackle. Well, we talked to DeMarco, Steve. He considers himself really a combo back because he likes to catch the ball. That was his 39th reception of the season.
Well, and he's the guy that Ron Lynn said is really a key to their passing game. They try to get him the ball like they did right there on what they call a tunnel screen to the outside. But that time, very well played by, as you said, Shane Scove, the true freshman, and then the cornerback Richard Sherman breaking on that football to make the tackle for no gain.
So we'll have a field goal try by Patrick O'Hara. This will be from 23 yards out. And there's a whistle to stop play before the kick. Oh, it hit the upright. There is a flag. Oh, baby. That one hit the
False start.
That one hit the
84
right upright.
offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
If there is such a thing as a fortunate penalty right there, that was it. Patrick O'Hara missed the field goal, but the penalty actually spared him.
So instead of 23 yards, they march it back to the 28. This will be a 28-yard attempt. He's 5 of 7 on the season, and his longest of 47. Good snap, hold is up, and the kick through. So from 28, Patrick O'Hara gives Oklahoma a 3-point lead at the Sun Bowl. Fans having fun here in El Paso, Texas. Sun Bowl, 11 plays. Steve, 73 yards, 5.5 minutes off the clock, and O'Hara knocks it through from 28 yards. Tuesday on CBS, find out why. NCIS Los Angeles is TV's #1 news show. Don't miss a new episode Tuesday, only here on CBS.
Well, Craig, I think Stanford, given the situation there, given how well Oklahoma was moving the football, they've got to be happy they held up to only a field goal. this Oklahoma offense, I believe today, when you're playing a team that can score like Stanford can, when you get down in that red zone, you've got to cash in with a touchdown. So I think Jim Harbaugh got to be happy with the fact that his defense held him to a field goal.
Well, you mentioned Stanford's offense. They spend a lot of time on the field, plus they score 36 points a ball game. You know, and Landry Jones told us, Steve, from Oklahoma, that they had to take advantage of every possession because they were afraid they could be maybe minus 1 or 2 possessions because of the way that Stanford holds on to the football.
Yeah, this is an Oklahoma team that gets about 75 to 80 snaps a game on a normal game. But against Stanford, you're looking at probably 2 or 3 less series.
Michael Thomas at the 15-yard line and then wrestled down to the 25. They're going to mark it before progress to the 26. So Stanford down at a field goal will take over at the 27-yard line with 52 seconds to play in the first quarter. Well, Tavita Pritchard started this game, Steve, shaky through that interception. Oklahoma scored, settled down a bit. Stanford got an interception by Bo McNally, and Marisick scored from 1 yard out. O'Hara with the field goal, and that's where we stand, 10-7.
Yeah, Pritchard still has not completed his first pass today. Going to have to do it at some point.
Handoff, nice hold. This time Gerhart rumbles and is knocked down by Reynolds, the middle linebacker. Understand that Adrian Taylor from the locker room did suffer a broken leg, and we wish him well. He did say, I want to come back. I will play my senior year at Oklahoma. 8 carries, 21 yards now for Toby Gerhart. Clock winding down here in the first quarter. Shotgun, low snap, handled by Pritchard. On the rollout, slingshots a pass over to Whalen. And the ball is caught. Griff Whalen, a sophomore from Sylvania, Ohio, with his 7th grab of the year.
Well, what we're going to need to see, though, here, Craig, as we wind down to the end of the quarter, we're going to have to see Stanford trying to make bigger chunks of yards in this ball game up the field. Those little dinks and dunks aren't going to carry them all day.
That ends the first quarter here in El Paso. Oklahoma 10, Stanford 7. We'll return to the 76th Brute Sun Bowl after this message and a word from your local station. Welcome back to the Sun Bowl. As we start the second quarter, Oklahoma with a 3-point lead over Stanford. Craig Bolerjack, Steve Berline, glad you're with us here on CBS. See, talk about tempo, because right now Oklahoma, that hurry-up offense has worked out well in the first quarter play.
It really has. 143 yards passing already in the first quarter for Oklahoma. That's not boding well, I don't think, for the rest of the ball game for Stanford. Stanford very opportunistic, took advantage of the big turnover, came down and scored a touchdown to keep this ball game close, but they've got to change the tempo.
All right, yeah, also turnover is a big factor in this first quarter of play. Let's check out now our Home Depot tools to victory. Steve Berline.
Well, when you talk about what's happened so far to this point, Craig, the bottom line is that drive when Bo McNally came up with that interception to get the ball back for Stanford, took it deep into the red zone. I think the key was to find a way to cash in, and they did it not only with the interception but also with the big 3rd down conversion by Toby Gerhart, and then finishing up with the touchdown by Owen Marisick. And we're going to see it all right here as we talked about the big interception and return by Bo McNally. Nice move there to take up the seam and get it deep into Oklahoma territory, and then the rest of it was taken over by the big man Toby Gerhart right there, the big 3rd down conversion, and then finished off by Owen Marisick, the little sneaky touchdown inside. An Oklahoma defense that was focused on Toby Gerhart. Stanford has got to find a way, though, to create more of a tempo, more pace offensively to get this thing working in their favor. And the last play that we saw before the end of the first quarter, Tavita Pritchard completed his first pass only for 2 yards, but hopefully it'll settle him down for Stanford and get him in his rhythm a little bit better.
This offense, they rank 11th nationally in the ground game of nearly 225 yards a contest. Pritchard stands up in the pocket, wobble pass downfield, picked off for the second time, and it's Quentin Carter, the free safety.
Not a good decision. We talked about how Stanford has to find a way to make some plays up the field, but you can't force it up the field. You can see very good coverage right there by Carter. There was no doubt DeMontre Hurst was right there too. Double coverage. And Tavita Pritchard, to me, it looked like he had predetermined before that play. You can see right, he doesn't really look anywhere else. He drops back and decides, I want to throw this football. And you cannot do that against a good defensive football team. Quentin Carter, this Oklahoma defense, they're just too good to make mistakes against.
Second interception thrown by Pritchard here in the first half of play. Oklahoma back on the field with their offense. Chris Brown tackled, stopped, and dropped by Macaluso, the middle linebacker, number 44.
Well, Stanford's done a pretty darn good job to this point, Craig, against the Oklahoma run game. Only 9 yards rushing in the first quarter for Oklahoma, but they're giving up a lot of big plays in the passing game.
So second down to 10, no gain. As Jones takes a look sideline. Now a flag.
There's something.
Right of snap, ball start. 47 offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
That's Lattery, the tight end.
Well, there's something that this Oklahoma offense is doing that these referees have keyed in on that is spurring them to throw the flag for the illegal procedure.
You know, and Steve, it's the third flag of this first half. They're the 6th most penalized team in college football. Over 8 flags a game.
Kind of contradictory what you expect from a Bob Stoops coach football team.
So now second down at 15. Shotgun. Jones, good protection, steps up, throws, far sideline, and throws it out of bounds. The intended receiver was number 6. That's Cameron Kinney.
Well, Craig, what you said, though, about the penalties, a lot of it can be explained by the fact that this Oklahoma offense especially has been in a constant state of change. There's been not a lot of stability up front at all. We've talked about it a lot today, but there's no rhythm because they've had to adjust so many times. And you got guys playing out of position. Difficult to get rhythm going that way.
How about this set? 5 wideouts. Shotgun. Landry Jones punts. Eludes one tackler. There's a flag down on the run. Throws, and it's caught and dropped at the 40-yard line. After all that, it was DeJuan Miller. But coming strong was Kaiser. Thomas Kaiser.
Thomas Kaiser about ripped the head off of Landry Jones there, I think.
Holding. Number 70 offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Calling Corey Brandon for holding the left tackle. And we're going to see he obviously was supposed to be blocking Kaiser on the outside coming off this. Nobody blocked him at all. There was no chance. But right there you see inside, that was Corey Brandon locked up, and the referee said, you know what, at some point you've got to let go. Kaiser should have had the big sack in the backfield, obviously. He was unimpeded with the quarterback.
Punt is away. Line drive kick. Turns it over at the 27-yard line. That's Doug Baldwin for Stanford. And they'll mark him down at the 24. That's where the Cardinal will take over. Down 3 in El Paso. Now, Oklahoma has had their share of close losses this season. It started early. September 5th, BYU defeated the Sooners. Bradford injured in that 14-13 loss. October 3rd at Miami, Hurricanes won 21-20. Oklahoma drops down to 2-2 at that point. Then we go to October 17th at Texas. Colt McCoy and the Longhorns defeat the Sooners 16-13. Oklahoma did not help themselves. They turned the ball over 5 times in that game. Oklahoma up by 3. Let's go downstairs and check in with Sam Ryan.
Yeah, and Craig, this time of year we've been talking about coaches and how they've been burning out at the end of the season. We asked Bob Stoops how he's able to keep it going 11 seasons at Oklahoma, and he said it's all about knowing what your foundation is and knowing that his family comes first, loves his job, but he's always with his family. His family will be with him at the end. He actually does something neat at Oklahoma every Wednesday night. He opens up the practices to the wives and the children and has a dinner for them. And actually on Thanksgiving they had a turkey bowl for the kids where the parents tailgated. They did the same thing on Christmas. Pretty neat, guys.
Yeah, Sam, that's a great idea. You try to balance, Steve. I mean, that's what life is, but especially in this business that eats up a lot of coaches. you have to find balance.
If you don't find that balance, there's no doubt it will eat you up as Stanford goes to the Toby Gerhart Wildcat.
Prior to the snap, ball start, 71 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Movement up front by Andrew Phillips, and there's a lot of news, as Sam was mentioning. You know, Urban Meyer will coach in the Sugar Bowl, then leave on absence. And Mike Leach, interesting story that's developed over the past week, fired Wednesday by Texas Tech. Adam James, the player that was involved, and there's a lot of allegations. This one's going to get messy.
Well, I think there's no doubt about that, Craig. Mike Leach, I think there's a lot more that's going to come out about that whole situation, and we're all going to be watching, obviously, to see what was involved, what was entailed and all that happened down there.
Little misdirection coming back as Gerhart finds the seam, runs out, and then the ball is on the deck. And Gerhart recovered at his own 25-yard line. Almost another turnover committed by Stanford.
Well, fortunately, there was not a turnover here, Craig. You're exactly right. You see, they were trying to run a little counter action backside to try and catch Oklahoma in that over pursuit to getting to the ball. Because of Toby Gerhart, everything they don't do a lot of counter actions. Usually straight power to one side or the other. Right there, they almost paid the price with a big fumble.
Well, that was a great look in on Gerhart. That ball took a Stanford hot play action. Pritchard stands up out of the pocket. He can run, and he slips and slides around the 38-yard line. Well, Gerhart averages nearly 6 yards a carry, but today it's been a tough go for this runner-up in the Heisman.
Oklahoma's done a good job of getting to him. We knew they were going to focus on him, but I guarantee you this, Craig, Toby Gerhart will not back down. And what he does during the course of a ball game, if Stanford is able to stay within their game plan, and they will, you know, we're talking about a 3-point ball game at this point. They'll stay with the game plan. Oklahoma is going to get tired of seeing Toby Gerhart pound that ball up in there.
Stanford just picked up their second first down of this ball game. And the clock runs under 12 and a half to play in the first half. Low snap as Pritchard rolls out near side, looking on his back foot, throws, and in traffic, it's caught. Whalen still on his feet. 30 at the 25, Whalen at the 20, and tackled down to the 19 by Quentin Carter.
Well, Craig, I don't know if I could call this a great throw by Tavita Pritchard, but what we'll call it is a great play by Stanford. You know, I would not advise that throw to be thrown very often, but right there, Ryan Whalen, super job of catching that football, making a big play for Stanford at the right time.
A gain of 42 yards. And again, flags are down as Stanford tries to mix it up with a Wildcat.
Charge timeout, Oklahoma.
And the Sooners called timeout before the play. We'll step aside, 11:59 to play. First half in El Paso. CBS Sports presentation of the Brute Sun Bowl is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Visit progressive.com today. Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by Mazda. Yeah, sun-drenched El Paso, Texas. MetLife providing today's aerial coverage. Look for more beautiful aerials at MetLife. Teams up with CBS throughout the new year. Well, Monday on CBS, start the new year off with a laugh. How I Met Your Mother. Monday, only on CBS.
Well, Craig, twice we've seen in this drive Stanford trying to get to their new version of the Wildcat with Toby Gerhart in the backfield. Direct snap to him. First time they tried to go to it, Stanford was called for an illegal procedure. Second time they went to it, the last play before the break there, was caught Oklahoma off guard a little bit. They called a timeout. So they've shown that formation twice. Jim Harbaugh's got to be frustrated that they have not had a play out of it yet. You come out, you try and surprise them with that kind of a formation, and we're going to see it again right here. Toby Gerhart getting the direct snap.
The Wildcat and Gerhart is runner up to the Heisman. Breaks the tackle at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Gerhart! Brute strength He was able to wipe off a Sooner at the 10-yard line.
How many tackles did he break? Toby Gerhart broke at least 2 tackles on that run. You loaded up. It was great design of the play. You got to give credit to Stanford and run game coordinator Greg Roman, who makes these calls and designs these plays. Perfect call at the perfect time. Everything was loaded up to go to the right side. Toby Gerhart caught the snap, took a step right, came back left. Big play at a big time for Stanford.
Whitaker inside the extra point. Snap is up, and the kick is good.
You're going to see just great design. The play came up just perfectly. You had a bunch of blockers pulling in front of Toby Gerhart. You had Josh Catron and several others. And then Toby, once you get him in the open field, he does the rest. You can see number 47 pulling right. That's Catron. And then you had number 48, Owen Marisic, in front of him also. And Toby Gerhart, once he got to the edge, he only knows one way to go, and that's toward the goal line. You're going to see a couple of Oklahoma defenders bounce off of him, but a really nice job blocking it. And right there, that was where the tackle had to be made. That was a good opportunity for Ryan Reynolds to make the tackle. He didn't do it. Gerhart obviously enjoys getting that ball in the end zone. You don't see a lot of emotion out of Toby Gerhart. He's used to being in that end zone.
Well, 27 times he's been in the end zone rushing. And by the way, that's the he's rushed for a touchdown now, Steve, in 18 of his last 20 football games.
Well, we could spend all day talking about the accomplishments of this young man. The bottom line is that he's pretty darn good.
So Stanford kicks away with a 4-point lead. And 3 yards deep is Franks. He'll run it out to the 20. There's a flag, 2 flags down. And we'll have to sort through it.
Legal block in the back. Number 28 return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, tonight on the Late Show, Dave welcomes Robert Pattinson, plus stupid human tricks and the top 10 list. Then catch the Late Show, Late Show with Craig Ferguson only on CBS. Another top 10 list tonight. I'm sure as the year ends, that should be interesting.
Oh, you know it is. Letterman always finds a way to make that interesting. And right here, Oklahoma making it interesting. A very indecisive play on the kickoff return right there, compounded by the fact that a penalty, illegal block in the back, sets them back at their own 7-yard line.
And again, the penalties playing a factor here for Oklahoma in the opening half of play. Play action, Landry Jones throws over the middle. Was it trapped, caught?
It's being ruled a catch.
Broyles went down low on the shoot tops at the 24-yard line.
We'll see if we get a quick look here. It looks like, yeah, boy, he got his hands underneath it. Looked to me that ball was not bobbled. Good catch by Ryan Broyles.
This time Murray is pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line, so a loss of 5. And Murray's had trouble getting the motor started as Skov, the weak side linebacker, with the tackle.
Oklahoma only 9 yards rushing still to this point. Stanford doing a very good job of not letting Oklahoma get any rhythm in that running game.
They average 141 yards a game on the ground. Jones shotgun, one step, throw, and a hot slant. It's caught, and Jazz Reynolds with the touchdown now. Multiple flags are out. 1, 2, 3, they're all over the field.
I don't know if there are any more flags in the pockets.
Busy day for John O'Neill.
Personal foul. Face mask. 23 defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Austin Yancey, number 23, the strong safety.
Yeah, see a nice throw and catch right there. Yancey coming up to make the break in the hit. Realized that he was not in the best position. Just tried to grab a hold of whatever he could. And Jazz Reynolds happy to attack another 15 yards onto the play.
Shotgun, Landry Jones. Quick little hit. Brown up the middle. And Brown takes a pile of red jerseys to the 37-yard line. Biggest run of the day for Brown.
Best run of the day for sure. You're going to just see right up the pipe. Nothing fancy about that running play whatsoever. Look at the lane right here. That's what all running backs dream about. A seam right there to get up inside and get to that secondary unimpeded.
A pick up at 12 as Jones goes back to work. Flush from the pocket, throws. And simple pitch and catch to the near sideline. It's DeJuan Miller with another grab on the afternoon.
Well, you see the potential of this Oklahoma offense. When they get rid of them, they can make a lot of yards in a hurry. The question is, can Landry Jones and the rest of this Oklahoma team be smart with their decision making?
Quick throw, far sideline. Caught. Broyles breaks the tackle, throws down a stiff arm. And all of a sudden, Oklahoma's team just minutes ago was buried deep in their own territory, and now they're inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, this guy, Ryan Broyles, too, is a big part of it. He's got 52 receptions in his last 6 games, averaging almost 100 yards per game in those games.
Jones with rhythm right now in Oklahoma. Broyles, though, this time stacked up maybe a yard to the 14-yard line. Thomas, along with Bo McNally, in on the tackle for Stanford. Now you look at Miller today, Steve. 5 receptions, 74 yards. Broyles with 4 catches, 64, and he has that 30-yard touchdown in the first quarter.
Exactly right. And he's the kind of guy, though, and Jim Harbaugh will tell you, he's the kind of guy when he gets the ball in his hands, he scares you.
Chris Brown lines up alongside Jones. Play action pass over the top. Touchdown! Broyles! What a play!
There he is again. Amazing. He's not a big man at all. Only 5'11", 178 pounds, but he's not afraid to run down the middle of the field. And boy, that's his 14th touchdown of the year. That is a lot for a wide receiver in college football. You can see a very well thrown ball again. It was Chiki Amajoy, the linebacker. He threw the ball right over the top. Very well executed play. Nice throw down the middle of the field by Landry Jones.
O'Hara will try the extra point. Snap is down, the kick is away, and Oklahoma puts together quite a drive. Buried deep, they go all the way, and Broyles with his 2nd touchdown grab of the afternoon. A 13-yard strike from Landry Jones to Ryan Broyles. Jones continues to throw touchdowns, his 25th strike of the year, and the Sooners up 3. Oklahoma with a 17-14 lead on the 21st ranked Stanford Cardinal. Jones terrific on that drive, 5 of 5, 57 yards. And you can't say enough about Ryan Broyles with his 2nd touchdown reception of the first half.
Well, you're going to see Ryan Broyles in the slot right here, and I want you to watch the 2 linebackers for Stanford right here, and you're going to see they have a chance to slow down Broyles. You cannot let this guy run through the middle. Look at right here, he splits those linebackers. In college football, they can hit him and prevent him from having that free run down the middle of the field. That cannot happen with a playmaker, the ability of Ryan Broyles. You got to give a lot of credit to Landry Jones, though, obviously, in this making this offensive scheme work. They're throwing the ball very well. Running game has been kind of quiet, but he's finding a way to spread the ball out. It's been mainly DeJuan Miller and Ryan Broyles on the receiving end. Right there, Broyles with his 2nd touchdown pass or catch of the day. Landry Jones showing good poise, not letting the bad throw that he made on the interception stay with him. To be a good quarterback at a high level, you've got to have the mentality that you have a short memory. You make a bad play, you make a mistake, you've got to let it go and get on to the next one.
Jones's numbers, 14 of 18. 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception here in the first half, and still just under 10 minutes to play.
I'd take that in 1/2.
Oh, you bet. Every coach would. Kick at the 1-yard line. Michael Thomas on the run. He had a head of steam and it stopped. I mean, he hit a wall at the 21-yard line. Ronell Lewis. Oh, 2 big pops today in this one.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, the kickoff coverage for this Oklahoma team, they're one of the best in the country on punt coverage, but they are making a statement in kickoff coverage. Stanford all year has been one of the very best kickoff return teams in the country. They are not getting an opportunity to do anything returning kicks today.
Well, Stanford goes back to work, down by 3. Both teams trading touchdowns here in the 2nd quarter. First down and 10 at the 21-yard line. Pritchard with a shaky first half, hands off And Gerhart breaks the tackle, spins out of another, and pushes his way to the 35-yard line.
Well, this is bread and butter Stanford football right here, and you're going to see anything you look at with Toby Gerhart, you're seeing physical. You're seeing physical. You're seeing him getting after people, not backing down. Eventually, he's going to wear out. He's going to break a few tackles as he did in that touchdown run, and he's going to come out with something positive on the other end. That run right there on the previous play, though, vintage Stanford football behind the right side. Chris Marinello, David DeCastro, tight end Jim Dre, physical pounding football.
For a first down as they go back to Gerhart, who jumps over the pile and 3 yards the hard way. That last carry went for 15. And Gerhart will wear you down, no question. 235-pounder. He came in this season with nearly 1,800 yards of rushing. And Steve, we mentioned so many times just how close the voting was for the Heisman. He is the Doak Walker Award winner, but only 28 points separated Mark Ingram and Toby Gerhart.
Closest ever.
Second down and 8. And Stanford with momentum once again at the 38-yard line. Taylor's in the backfield. Play action pass. Good protection. And wide open at midfield. And the catch by Owusu with his first grab of the afternoon.
See, I like that right there. I like that Jim Harbaugh is giving his quarterback a chance to make plays. David Shaw, the offensive coordinator, even though Tavita Pritchard does not look comfortable in the pocket today, right there, a good time to call a play action after Toby Gerhart's had a nice couple of strong physical runs up inside. You know Oklahoma's geared up to shut down that running game, make a statement. You play off of that play action, and boom, big play.
Another first down, 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
And this is where they're going unbalanced. Stanford a little bit confused.
Well, you saw big number 70, Burt McBride, tried to set himself, and that is now a timeout, Stanford. So Harbaugh calls a timeout. 2 remaining for Oklahoma and 1 for Stanford. And tomorrow, New Year's Day rocks as the West Virginia Mountaineers will run their attack up against Florida State, the Seminoles. It's coaching legend Bobby Bowden's final game. It's the Conaca Minolta Gator Bowl right here on CBS. And what a career it's been for Coach Bowden at West Virginia and now at Florida State. Career record closing in. CB was flirting with 400. 2 national titles along the way.
Well, all you can do is tip your hat to the legend that is Bobby Bowden. What an unbelievable career. And it probably is safe to say it hasn't gone down the way he had hoped it would go down, his departure from Florida State. But when you look back at it, amazing career, amazing accomplishments.
So 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of Oklahoma after the timeout by Harbaugh. They shift Gerhart. He's alongside Pritchard. That ball is down on the deck, and boy, Pritchard barely able to hand it off to Gerhart and nowhere to run, and Jeremy Beal with the tackle.
Yeah, bad snap by Chase Beal, the center here. The ball gets down low on the ground, a little bit hard and low. And boy, there was a lot of confusion on that play because no one off the left side even thought about touching the linebacker or the defensive end Jeremy Beal. I don't know what the design of that play was there, but it was not executed well at all.
Second down and 12, a loss of 2. They send Marisic, the fullback, in motion. And again from the shotgun. Pritchard throws over the middle. It's caught. Whalen's had quite a first half, and another first down. Moved the chains to the 33-yard line of Oklahoma.
Well, it seems as though Tavita Pritchard's finding a little bit of rhythm right here. Good job by Ryan Whalen putting this little shimmy, little sleeper move in the slot there to get open on the inside on Travis Lewis to give Tavita Pritchard a shot at his numbers. Put that ball right on him. Good throw and catch. Another nice pickup.
Whalen now 2 grabs, 56 yards as the clock runs up on 7 minutes. Another first down and 10 for Stanford.
You know, Stanford's done a good job protecting against this big-time pass rush of Oklahoma.
Owusu goes in motion. He'll take it around the edge. It'll stop and go. Stutter step. Okay, Oklahoma, great job defensively. Stayed at home, and now some late flags are tossed.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 28 defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Oh, face mask, Travis Lewis, the weak side linebacker, only on CBS. It's America's most watched network. Thank you for making us your choice for the best in television. And a happy new year. 09, getting ready to say goodbye, Steve, and hello to 2010.
Well, both these teams want to go into 2010 feeling good about how 2009 ended. The best way to do it is to come out of the Sun Bowl with a big victory. Both teams playing hard. And here Stanford goes to their unbalanced right formation. Moving alignment over to the right side.
1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Gerhart spins out a tackle at the 5. He fumbles a football, recovered by Gerhart. Touchdown.
In the end zone, recovered by Stanford, signals touchdown.
What can you say about that? A tremendous run by Toby Gerhart, and then the easy part, just getting it across the goal line, becomes a difficult thing. Look at the tackles that he breaks. I mean, you cannot coach that, folks, at home. You cannot coach that. Toby Gerhart has the God-given ability. He broke the tackle of Keenan Clayton and Travis Lewis. These guys came up, had good shots at him. Ball comes out at the end. They're going to review it just to make sure it comes out as it was ruled.
So it's under review, and Gerhart stripped for the 2nd time, mind you, Steve, today. But the power, the strength, and what amazes me, his ability to come off the turf here at the Sun Bowl and get back on that football.
I mean, look at the balance. The big man, 235-pound boy, a nice strip from that. It was actually a very good job of stripping the football by Ronell Lewis to pop that thing out as he was going into the end zone.
That's the punch. Yeah, Ronell Lewis, a freshman.
No doubt that ball was coming out. Now the question, I guess, that they're trying to review is who came up with that football. I don't know if there's any angle that can actually show us if there was any foul play going on the bottom of the pile, but
Jonathan Nelson.
There you see right there, Toby Gerhart looks like he's in the best position to control that football.
Steve, you saw number 3, Jonathan Nelson, the strong safety. What are you taught? You're supposed to get down on that football, cover up.
Instead of trying to pick it up, get down on, especially when it's rolling around in the end zone. Nice.
After further review, the call on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So, touchdown for Toby Gerhart.
You know what I think one of the concerns might have been was just to make sure that Toby Gerhart indeed did recover his own fumble, because the rule that you cannot forward fumble a football into the end zone and have it be recovered by someone else. Gerhart recovered that ball, though.
Whitaker will try the extra point. Kick is away and splits the uprights. It's a back and forth battle here at El Paso. Stanford with the lead. 21-17 on CBS.
I'm senior Stanford running back Toby Gerhart, and my New Year's resolution is to give up fast food, because eventually that's going to catch up with me.
Well, a fumble and a recovery. Gerhart, 17-yard touchdown, 7 plays, 79 yards. You know, when Gerhart was at Stanford, Jim Harbaugh took over 3 years ago. Wasn't real sure about how that relationship would finally work out.
When I first got here, I was a little scared of him. I'm not going to lie. He came in, first time I met him, I played baseball as well. So the first time I met him, he was like, "Do you love football?" And I was like, "Of course I love football." And he's like, "But you're playing baseball too?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "How can you love football and love baseball?" And I was like, "This guy's not going to let me do anything. He doesn't like me." And then, you know, from there, it's just gotten better and better. And we have a great relationship. It's been a privilege to play for him. He's solely responsible for the turnaround of our program. And like I said, our relationship will go beyond football and, you know, later on in life.
Well, you'll hear more of that interview coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. We'll also introduce you to our Scholar Athlete of the Year. And we'll meet Heisman Trophy winner Mark Ingram. That's all coming up on the Geico Halftime Report with Sam Ryan. Gerhart How about that? Coach, I love football. I play some baseball, yeah, at Stanford, but don't get me wrong, I love football.
But you know what's interesting, and when you talk to these players for Stanford, especially the older players, the seniors, what Jim Harbaugh has brought to them, they understand the value and the impact that Jim Harbaugh has had on this program, and they know that good things are in store for this program in the years to come, and they're proud of the fact that they were involved with getting this program back on the right.
Great kick and no return. Oklahoma will start this drive on their own 20-yard line. And Toby's been hard at work.
Well, we knew at some point it's going to come an opportunity for Toby Gerhart to break a few tackles, and he seems to know exactly when to do it. Right there, almost a tragedy for Stanford if he wouldn't have recovered that football, but bottom line is he did. And these Stanford coaching staff has found a few seams in a very, very, very good run defensive football team in Oklahoma.
And 1st and 10 now for the Sooners at the 20-yard line. Jones, the quarterback, from the shotgun. Hand off DeMarco Murray. Leans to about the 22-yard line. 1, 2, 3, 4 red jerseys on top of him. That brings up 2nd down and 8, and another player down for Oklahoma. That's for Stanford now.
That's Akam Udofia, the nose tackle.
If you just joined us, Oklahoma lost their fine defensive lineman earlier in this game, Adrian Taylor, to a broken leg.
It looked like Akam Udofia was favoring his right leg as well. We'll see if we can see exactly what happened.
It's a mass of humanity.
Yeah, hard to tell exactly what happened. You see him grabbing that knee right there.
Grabbing that right knee. Trainers are on the field. Out of Scottsdale, a big fella, 322, senior. You know, he's been solid too, Steve. 43rd game he's played for Stanford, and today making his 39th start.
Yeah, pretty impressive run there. Obviously a guy that's been able to avoid injury throughout his whole collegiate career for the most part. It looks like he really is favoring that right leg right now. And look from the right side, you see him coming in right there, and he gets hit by his own teammate.
Yeah,
that's
Scove.
Shane Scove that came in and caught his knee in an awkward position.
So 2nd down and 8 as we get back to action here in El Paso. 6 minutes to play in the first half. Is Jones from the shotgun. Play action, blitz. Throws it incomplete at the 20-yard line. And Stanford, first time, a little aggressive on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, that was Michael Thomas, the nickelback, coming off the edge. Caught Oklahoma totally off guard. No one assigned to him. Looked like Landry Jones had a quick throw to the left side, but he just didn't have time to get set and get rid of that football on time and accurately.
3rd down and 8, under 6 minutes to play. 3 wide receivers stretched to the top of your screen. Landry Jones in the shotgun. Low snap, handles, steps up, throws over the top in traffic, and nearly a one-handed grab pulled down by Broyles. If he would have been Houdini had he made that catch.
Well, it looks like Ron Lynn has tried to make the adjustments necessary on the sideline for Stanford. He's a defensive coordinator. He's getting kind of tired of seeing Ryan Broyles running down the middle of the field. He told Chiki Amajoy, he said, you know what? You better find a way to get in position to take that throw away. And right there, Michael Thomas was trying to help over the top. Much better coverage down the middle of the field than on that play for Stanford.
So Tress Way is set to punt. Set up inside his own 10-yard line. That ball is loose and covered up at the 10-yard line. So a special teams play puts Stanford right on the front porch.
Richard Sherman right here, untouched. Absolutely untouched. And he is too good an athlete to let him have a free run to the quarterback. Or to the punter. I'm not exactly sure what the decision-making process was for Oklahoma on that punt team. The bottom line, though, is a big mistake was made, and Richard Sherman making him pay for it. Stanford now golden opportunity to take control here.
First punt blocked this season off the foot of Tress Way. This is the top punter in Big 12 football and 4th in the nation. So Stanford now with a 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line. Play action passes. Pritchard is pressured from behind. Flags are down, throws into the end zone. Touchdown! But a flag is down. Flags are down. That's the fullback, Marisic.
Stop block. Offense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
I can guarantee you, Craig, this ball was not thrown to the man that caught it. Jim Dre, the tight end, was wide open the whole time that Tavita Pritchard was rolling to his right side, and that's who that ball was thrown to. It went over the top of Jim Dre, and you see right back in there, he's sitting there wide open. He was open the whole time. Tavita Pritchard was rolling to his right, and I believe that ball got away. It doesn't matter anyway. There was an illegal chop block that is putting Stanford back at the 27-yard line.
And 1st and 25 now for Stanford. In motion goes the tight end Dre. With a pitch out, Gerhart tried to set a blocker, or that's what he does, and he leans out and picks up. Basically got back to the line of scrimmage, and Ryan Reynolds, number 4, the middle linebacker, who's been saddled with some hamstring problems, in on the stop.
Well, it can be demoralizing when you have a big play like that called back, but I'll tell you what else is demoralizing. When you're an Oklahoma defender and you're used to holding an opponent to 88 yards a game rushing, Stanford already well over 90 yards, 93, 94 yards rushing today. Toby Gerhart giving him a little taste of number 7 every time. They're kind of getting tired of that, I'm sure.
2nd down, 25. Stephon Taylor, the back. Little flip out, pop. Flinner that is, the tight end. And the clock winds just inside the 20-yard line. Dominique Franks made that initial hit.
Very important right here now on 3rd down. Tavita Pritchard, he's got to think like the senior, the veteran, the man who has 19 starts under his belt. Today was his 20th. He's got 3rd and long. 3rd and 16 yards. Got to get the ball down to the 1-yard line for a 1st down. He's very, very careful here. If nothing else, you got to settle with the field goal.
3rd down and 16. As we roll up on 4 minutes to play, Stanford up on Oklahoma 21-17. Play clock is running down to 2, down to 1. Just got it off, or did they?
Charge time up. Stanford.
So Stanford knew the clock was running down, and a timeout. Timeout call. Key players so far in this ball game, Steve. You look at what Jones has accomplished, 210 yards, a pair of touchdowns. Murray's been held in check. 7 carries for 3 yards. Pritchard shaky. The 2 interceptions, and Gerhart coming on strong in the 2nd quarter. 78 yards on 15 carries and a couple of touchdowns.
Well, the keys have been Landry Jones and Toby Gerhart, without a doubt. You look at what Toby Gerhart's done, 78 yards already on the day. As we stated before, Oklahoma only giving up 88 yards a game on the season. And so Toby Gerhart to have 78 yards, that is something that Oklahoma is not used to seeing. On the other side, we did talk about Landry Jones. They've been very efficient throwing the football through the air. Both teams know what they're going to have to work on in the 2nd half if they want to get control of this football game.
All right, 3rd down and 17. You just saw the timeout chart. Stanford has no timeouts remaining. And there's 4:07 to play, and they're right on the front porch inside the 20-yard line. Bob Stoops facing the sideline. Close ball game, 21-17.
Well, if Jim Harbaugh elects to let Tavita Pritchard throw the football here in this situation, I would be surprised if he would, first off. But if he does, he made it very clear during that timeout, be careful with the football.
They said Ryan Whalen, top of your screen. They put Gerhart in motion. Pedaling back is Tavita Pritchard. Man coverage up top. And off the hands, incomplete. Whalen right in the end zone, but good coverage. Man coverage by Dominique Franks.
I like the play call. I do like the coverage also by Dominique Franks. Good job, good position. Very safe play call though for Jim Harbaugh. Give your biggest, most consistent receiver on the outside, Ryan Whalen, a chance to make a play on the football in the end zone.
This will be a 35-yard attempt, his longest of 54 on the season. 14 of 20 for Whitaker. Kick is away and splits it true. So Stanford, 35-yarder off the foot of Whitaker. And they add to their lead of 24-17. Well, the carousel of coaching changes, Steve, already underway. Kansas makes a change along with Louisville, of course, Notre Dame, your alma mater. Charlie Weiss out, Mr. Kelly in.
Yep, a lot of turnover already, and some excitement down in Kansas. Turner Gill coming back to the Big 12. And, of course, Brian Kelly, as you said, at Notre Dame. A lot of the Notre Dame faithful, including myself, excited about the future of Notre Dame football.
And Steve, what's interesting is in college football, there was a time not long ago when college coaches got the 4 or 5 year plan. They said, listen to the chancellors, to the presidents, to the ADs. I need to get my recruiting class from freshman to senior. You don't have that luxury nowadays.
No, you really don't. You've got to come in and you've got to make a statement early that the program is going in the direction that the board of trustees or the alumni or the president, what they want, they've got to see it.
Oklahoma, hold up the middle. Morris Madu to the 40-yard line. Boy, he averages 21 yards a kickoff return, but this one may be coming back.
Illegal block in the back. Number 22 return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot. First down.
So bring it back with a block in the back.
Keenan Clayton is called for the block in the back for Oklahoma. Watch the kicker, though. Nate Whitaker stick his shoulder in there. Good job. You don't see kickers at any level really sticking their nose in there like Nate Whitaker did right there. Maybe he's too young and too naive to know any better, but
now come on, quarterbacks don't stick their nose in there either, do they?
Well, you know what, you got a good point there. I don't remember sticking my nose in there very often.
Under 4 to play, first half. High scoring first half here in El Paso. 1st and 10. Quick throw, far sideline. It's grabbed again by Broyles. Stops direction, turns and takes a couple of tackles up to the 20-yard line. Well, Sherman and McNally in on the tackle. Boy, Stanford swarming defensively. You can tell little by little they picked up some confidence along the way. They pick up 7. Oklahoma now faced with 2nd down and 3 in the hurry-up offense. James pumps, now goes deep in double coverage, and DeJuan Miller is tossed down at the 40-yard line, incomplete.
That was a play off of the previous play. You're going to see right there Landry Jones faking the little tunnel screen to the outside, then trying to get Stanford playing a little too aggressively. Bo McNally, the safety, along with cornerback on the outside, Chris Evans, didn't bite on it, did a good job covering up the field.
Stops clock, 3:20 to play in the half, 3rd down and 3. Stanford showing blitz. Jones sets up and throws. The ball is tipped down and incomplete.
You're going to have that. Saw a late flag come in there, Craig. I think there was contact made before the ball got there. It might be Nick Macaluso, the middle linebacker.
Pass interference. Number 94 in the defense. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Oh, big one. Thomas Kaiser, the sophomore.
There was Thomas Kaiser. He was engaged there about 3 or 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, only looking at the receiver, and went up and hit him before the ball got there.
Harbaugh asking for an explanation. And now 1st and 10 for Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's the big deal, is it's a first down, automatic first down for Oklahoma.
Starts at the 22 with 3:15 balls on the deck. And Jones jumps on it.
You know what happens sometimes, Craig, when you're in a situation like this. I don't think that was a bad snap as much as it was Landry Jones knowing Stanford was coming with that blitz off the slot again off his right side, and he got a little excited, maybe took his eyes off the football. That was almost a devastating fumble for Oklahoma.
Loss of 3. 2nd down, 13, under 3 minutes to play. Hanna goes in motion from the shotgun. Jones rushed, in trouble, and throws it away. And Stanford again, 2nd blitz, and they're putting pressure. and they're coming off the edge.
They're doing a very good job inside. You know, Stanford not known for their pass rush, but you saw right there the good hard inside move by Tom McAndrew, number 41. That's what forces right up the middle. That's when you also see the big loop around by Sione Fua. That is what Landry Jones sees coming up the middle of the field, forcing him to flush out of the pocket.
Now, Will Powers came on the edge and blew that play up as well. 3rd down and 13. Jones steps up in the pocket. Oh, great catch right on the fingertips by Reynolds. Jazz Reynolds with the grab up to the 35-yard line.
And that's a huge play for Oklahoma. They're backed up 3rd and 13 in their own territory, and you throw a simple, easy slant route with the receiver having no one really to challenge him whatsoever. But your defensive philosophy there is to let him catch the ball, come up and make a tackle for a 3rd down and make him punt the ball.
1st down and 10. Clock going up on 2 minutes to play. DeMarco Murray lowers his shoulders and plows into the line. Pickup of maybe 2. We'll mark him at the 37-yard line.
Those are the kind of plays, though, that really take the wind out of you. You think you got him backed up, you're going to get the ball back, good field position. All of a sudden, they got a 1st down on a short, simple slant route on the outside.
2 minutes to play. And a pickup of 3, 2nd down 7. Oklahoma with 2 timeouts remaining if needed. They're down by a touchdown. Stretching it out, Murray weaves his way up to about the 44-yard line.
And that's DeMarco Murray's best run of the day. Good solid straight ahead blocking by the Oklahoma offensive line. Pick up the good yardage.
All right, DeMarco again, 2 yards. He'll plow past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
And that's a 1st down.
So 2 timeouts for OU, and Stanford has burned all 3 here in the 1st half. 1:24 to play, and they'll restart after they set the chains. 1st and 10 from the 46. Jones. Ooh, baby. Ooh, that was a dangerous pass. DeJuan Miller was right there, and on top of him was Chris Evans. So 2 number 24s getting to know one another.
Well, you see Chris Evans, number 24 on the outside. He's in for Johnson Batamosi, but he's not showing any signs of being afraid of DeJuan Miller for Oklahoma whatsoever. Anybody they put out on that side, he's breaking on the football, trying to make a play.
10th play of this drive, 2nd down 10. From the 46-yard line. Jones sets up a screen, Pat Brown. And there was no fooling Stanford defensively.
Very well played by Will Powers, the outside linebacker, senior on the outside. You'll see number 42, Will Powers coming through to clean up. He didn't bite on the action going to the left side at all. He comes right in there and closes on the play. Wasn't the only one there, but you can see Will Powers is going to come in from the outside over here. And the bottom line is that nobody was fooled for Stanford. Good break on the ball also by Chike Amajoy to come up and make the nice open field tackle.
So Oklahoma burns 1 of their timeouts. They have 1 remaining with 1:05 to play here in the 1st half. Well, you're thinking field goal. Well, O'Hara, his longest of 47. And there's a long ways to go to get in field goal position. 3rd down and 13.
Well, you think you still have 1 timeout left if you're Oklahoma. And this obviously is a quick strike offense. They can make up a lot of yards in a hurry. You're thinking you got enough time for several more plays because of the fact that in college football the clock does stop when you make a 1st down. But you're at least thinking you got to get to the 30-yard line, somewhere in that area, to give O'Hara a realistic chance of making a field goal.
For Landry Jones, all the seniors take a glance, and now they switch up. There's the audible call by Jones as he sets on 3rd and 13. 3-step drop, goes up over the top. Ball is tipped incomplete. They went to Broyles, and now another flag is down.
Well, you get that. I think Stanford has got the message very loudly and clearly that they're not going to let Ryan Broyles run down the middle of the field anymore.
Holding. 70 offense. The penalties decline. 4th down.
Corey Brandon.
And that'll force Oklahoma to punt. Penalty declined by Stanford. Interesting to see how Jim Harbaugh decides to let his offense go, depending on the field position here. If he decides to let them go, if they want to just run the clock out and take the 24-17 lead into the locker room.
So Tress Way back to punt. Last time he had that punt blocked, and the left footer gets it away. Baldwin will let it take a big bounce into the end zone, and Stanford will take it at the 20-yard line with 52 ticks left in the first half. You know, Oklahoma came in to start the bowl season. It's whittled down into single digits, but it was a 10, 12-point favorite. Some people thought down to 9. You surprised at this score?
You know, not really, Craig. I felt in my heart that Stanford would be able to match up well because Jim Harbaugh and his staff are so excited to be here. They've done such a good job preparing all year long for their different opponents and bringing different kind of elements to each game. I do feel like Oklahoma probably is a little bit superior physically, athletically, but Stanford, they seem to find a way to keep their nose in the ball game all the time.
Well, they run out of that huddle in a hurry with 52 seconds to play. They're playing like they mean business here down the stretch as Gerhart is stacked up and no gain to the 20. And the clock will run with 45 seconds to play. I would think that Harbaugh goes to the locker room. The way this game started, Steve, with the interception and Oklahoma's early touchdown, feeling good about things.
I think that's 100% right, Craig. I think it's the right decision. You got the 7-point lead. You're right where you want to be in this ball game. Don't do something silly to let Oklahoma get some points before the half runs out.
Second down to 10 at the 20. And they load up that backfield. Gray, the tight end, in motion. Up the middle, Gerhart. First time I've seen him stop dead in his tracks in this first half.
We've seen Oklahoma get after him pretty good the first half, but when they make a mistake, we know Toby Gerhart, he finds a way to make you pay when he gets a chance.
Well, Gerhart off to the locker room, 17 carries for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. Stanford, number 21 in the country, will go to the locker room up 7 against Oklahoma, 24-17. It was a bounce back first half, as I mentioned. Stanford down early. They came back, and you have to be impressed with the way the Cardinal was able to regroup.
No doubt about it. They could have very easily gotten discouraged with the way this game opened up, especially quarterback Tavita Pritchard with his first pass being intercepted. But no, none of that in this Stanford Cardinal team. They're in control of this ball game right now, but I know Bob Stoops well enough to know that they will come out in the second half ready to make a statement.
So 24-17 after half, and Oklahoma trying to survive. They're down 7. Let's go downstairs. And Sam Ryan with head coach Jim Harbaugh at Stanford.
All right, thanks a lot, Craig. And Jim, we see Toby, a quiet first quarter, second quarter, got the momentum going. How do you keep it going in the second half?
Well, we got some things going there, correct. We got some communication issues, both offensively, made us use a couple timeouts. And defensively, you know, we're getting hit down the middle of the field. We're not doing a great job with rerouting by the linebackers and getting the safety over the top. So we got some corrections to make. But Toby's doing his thing.
It certainly is.
Good half.
Thanks so much, Jim.
Thank you, Sam. That's the end of the first half. And Stanford heads to the locker room with a 7-point lead on Oklahoma. Sam Ryan will be back with the Geico halftime report after these messages and a word from your local station.
We're at halftime of the 76th Sun Bowl. Now let's take a moment to go down to the field where the pride of Oklahoma is performing. Welcome back to the Geico Halftime Report. As halftime continues here at the Sun Bowl, let's listen to the Leland Stanford Junior University Marching Band.
Don't worry, seniors. You'll get a chance to take your claim at the designated time. Okay, here we go. Stanford's in the huddle, and it looks like they're getting ready for a power play. Stanford wins! But don't feel bad, Sooners. How about a best of 3? Let's do this on the dumb students we are by playing video games. We can't get the rights to World of Warcraft, but
Thanks for watching the Geico Halftime Report. Craig Bolerjack and Steve Berline will have the second half of the Sun Bowl. Stanford and Oklahoma after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Halftime Report. Geico.com. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome back to the Brute Sun Bowl, El Paso, Texas. Just getting ready to start the third quarter. Craig Bolerjack along with Steve Berline, 24-17. Stanford with the 7-point lead. You have to talk about the first half, some surprises, some penalties, some turnovers. And right now, though, after that shaky start by the Cardinal, they really dominated in many ways that first half.
I think that Stanford is in control of this ball game for a number of reasons, but really it starts with Toby Gerhart. He's been able to effectively run the football and get the ball into the end zone against a very good Oklahoma run defense. Did not expect it to be as successful as it has been in the first half for Stanford. And one of the other keys that I thought would be a big factor in this ball game was turnovers. And that Stanford has come up with 2 of those turnovers right here. The early interception by Landry Jones that Bo McNally took back into the red zone. Stanford was able to capitalize, come away with a touchdown. Then the block kick by Richard Sherman that gave the ball deep into Oklahoma territory one more time. Again, Stanford able to capitalize. And you look at what's going on with the first half trends. Landry Jones throwing the ball very well for Oklahoma. They had a lot of success throwing the ball through the air. Ryan Broyles has been the recipient with the 2 touchdown passes, but then for Stanford, Tavita Pritchard made 1 big play in the passing game. He's going to have to make a few more in the second half, I believe. Toby Gerhart just doing what he does, grinding up yards and putting the ball in the end zone.
And Bob Stoops, you know, he's managed adversity very well. This team, he complimented them very well after the early season injury to their quarterback, Sam Bradford. Here they are. They didn't expect to be in El Paso. Let's be honest. They had bigger aspirations, but yet, you know what? They're here. They're happy about the way they came through it all.
Well, one of the things Bob Stoops said, too, one of the positives that you take out of this season is that because of the injuries and because of what this team has had to go through as a result of that, a lot of younger players have gotten a lot of experience, and going into next year they'll be that much ahead of the ball game, ahead of the learning curve, because they've been forced to play a lot earlier than expected. So there are high hopes coming into this next year, the year 2010, for this Oklahoma program because of the youth of this program and the experience that they've gained.
Now remember, Oklahoma won the toss to start this game. They wanted the football to start the second half, and so Stanford has it teed up, and we're underway. Second half in El Paso, 24-17, Stanford the Cardinal on top. And a line drive kick and pedaling back 9 yards deep, and no return for Madu. So this drive will start at the 20, and there's Landry Jones, a couple of touchdown throws in the first half. I mean, touchdowns, nothing new to Landry Jones. He set a school record, Steve, too, with 6 touchdown tosses in week 3 against Tulsa. And a story that is really interesting, Landry Jones, don't forget, recruited by Stanford.
He was recruited by Stanford and by Jim Harbaugh. And I think Jim Harbaugh had the choice of Andrew Luck and Landry Jones, where he wanted both of them. He decided on Andrew Luck, and it's worked out very well for Landry Jones at Oklahoma.
OU's ready to start. Now the officials jump in.
The clock to 25 seconds.
John O'Neill, busy day thus far in the first half. 13 penalties thrown against both teams, and here we go. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. And Landry Jones sets up in a shotgun. Play action pass will get flipped to the far side. Caught. Broyles picks up 5, maybe 6, up to the 26-yard line. Broyles with a big first half, couple of touchdowns. Scove and McNally been very busy defensively for Stanford.
I would be surprised, Craig, if we didn't see a very energized Oklahoma team this second half.
Now the hurry-up offense by Oklahoma. They waste no time. Again, Broyles makes a nifty move, and the boys cracked down at the 39-yard line. So move the chains, first down Oklahoma. Broyles, a compact player, came in with 76 receptions on the year. Forded with 1,000 yards, Steve. In fact, 964 on the year. He's a hometown product from Norman High School in Norman, Oklahoma. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Jones, quick toss, far sideline. Again, it's Broyles. Pitch and catch, breaks the tackle, and tries to hug that sideline, bumped out of bounds. You look at Oklahoma's first half possessions.
Well, you talk about what you're looking for, come out and get in control early. They did it. They scored a touchdown on their first drive, but then had several negative things happen. You had the block punt on one of you, had the interception. Not very good after that first drive for Oklahoma.
7-3.
Up top, that ball is batted down, and boy, right on coverage was Sherman on top of Jazz Reynolds.
Well, I'll tell you what, Landry Jones took a shot from Cheeky Amajoy right here at the end as he lets go of that ball right in the chest. Was not able to get that ball out in front of the receiver as well as he would have liked, and there was good coverage on the play by Richard Sherman as well.
That brings up 3rd down and 3 at the 46-yard line. Shotgun most of the afternoon by Jones. 3 wideouts near side. 2-step drop, quick flip, caught, and a first down. Move those chains as Oklahoma picks up big yards.
Well, that was DeMarco Murray, and Ron Lynn told us he's a running back, but he's a very key part of their passing game right there, showing just why you can put him in the slot.
And we got an injured, that's Sherman. Left corner, Richard Sherman down on a knee. We'll take a break. We're coming back to El Paso after this on CBS. And it's time now for our Aflac trivia question. And Steve, here you go. Can you answer this? Which school has participated in the most Sun Bowls?
Well, if I had the answer, I couldn't reveal it at this point, could I?
We'll have the answer a little bit later. 1st and 10. Oklahoma at the 35-yard line of Stanford. Pressure. They set up a screen. Oh, wait a minute. Hands incomplete of DeMarco Murray. And there was room for Murray to run.
There was room. He would have had big number 93, Chase Thomas, chasing after him. I think I would put my money on DeMarco Murray in that foot race every single time.
Murray, a sure-handed receiver with 38 grabs before this one in El Paso. 2nd down and 10, and it stops the clock with 14:04 here in the 3rd. Jones audibles, 3 wide receivers, top of your screen. Takes the snap, looks far side with a pitch and catch, caught by Murray. Stutter step move on the DeMarco Murray. 15-10 inside the 10-yard line. Big yards for Murray.
Tackled on the play by Shane.
And watch out if Murray gets going. He is a breakaway type player. Scove made the tackle along with Thomas.
Here's Murray right here. Look at what happens in the flat. There's no Stanford defenders out there anywhere. Look at all that yardage DeMarco Murray has before he even has to think about making a move on somebody.
A pickup at 28, 1st and 10 inside the 10-yard line. Bouncing out, Murray breaks one more tackle and pushes the pile up to around the 5-yard line. Scrappy runner, Murray at 215 pounds.
No doubt. He was not going to be denied there. Pounded the ball up inside. I think he ran into the back of one of his own offensive linemen, actually, but was able to keep his bearings and keep his focus on trying to get the ball upfield, picked up a couple of yards.
So, 2nd down and goal. Jones goes under center. from the I formation. Play action pass going up top, end zone, touchdown, Broyles.
You know, I saw Broyles on the bottom of the formation. I was going to point him out and say, this is the guy they seem to want to get the ball to in the red zone. Anytime they want to try and pump the ball to him. He had one-on-one coverage. Landry Jones, no doubt where he wanted to go with that football. That was Ryan Broyles all the way. He has really got a knack for getting open in that end zone.
You know what? How about MVP? He's got a vote or two on the way with his third touchdown catch of 6 yards. And the extra point by O'Hara can tie this game at 24. Low snap, kick up. And we're tied up in El Paso. A 6-yard strike. Broyles with his third touchdown reception. And Landry Jones right on target. We're tied up 24 all in El Paso. CBS Sports presentation of the Brute Sun Bowl is sponsored by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. And by the 76th Annual Brute Sun Bowl, sponsored by Brute. Brute, the essence of man. And the 76th Sun Bowl in El Paso, 9 plays. Oklahoma that went 80 yards. And Broyles with his third touchdown reception of the day. It's been quite a combination.
And understand, Craig, this kid Broyles, he's only a sophomore. He's got 85 catches on the year now, and he missed one full game against Baylor. And also only played in 1 series versus Miami. So 2 full games he didn't have. He's got 85 catches on the year and 15 touchdowns now.
We're tied at 24. So Oklahoma scores on the first possession of the second half. And Stanford awaits. This will be a short kick. Running up at the 15-yard line is Owosu, and pushes his way up to around the 32-yard line. That's where Stanford will begin their drive Wednesday on CBS. Join host Queen Latifah and your favorite TV, music, and movie stars on the award show that listens to you. The People's Choice Awards. It's live Wednesday at 9, 8 Central. Only on CBS. So now can Tavita Pritchard find some tempo for Stanford. He got off to the shaky start in the opening quarter, settled down, and led the Cardinal to a 24-17 halftime lead. 1st and 10, this drive at the 32-yard line. Bread and butter play, here comes Gerhart. Off the right side, stacked up, picks up 5 the hard way at the 35-yard line. That brings up 2nd down and 5.
Craig, when we talked to Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator for Oklahoma, he knew there's no secret what you got to do to stop Stanford. You got to load up to stop Gerhart, and you got to hit him flush. And what has happened, that's proven to be very prophetic, because the times that his defensive players have not hit him flush and really wrapped up and taken him to the ground, he's made him pay.
Great balance with 235 pounds. Toby Gerhart, he's right alongside Pritchard. Sets up and throws. That ball skips incomplete at the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 6.
Craig, that play was a debacle from the get-go. Tavita Pritchard dropped the football, dropped the snap. It was a good snap, and then made a bad decision on the throw. Fortunately, the ball was thrown low in the ground, because if that ball was up in a catchable area, it would have been returned and going the other way for 6 points for Oklahoma.
Now the numbers on Pritchard: 5 of 10, 83 yards, 2 picks. 3rd down and 6 for Jim Harbaugh and the Cardinal.
Everybody but up in the line of scrimmage for Oklahoma.
They power it, and there's a spin off a tackle by Gerhart, and stacked up a hard yard up to the 37, and Ryan Reynolds, the middle linebacker, made the tackle.
There is nobody back in the middle of the field for Oklahoma. They had no doubt in their mind that Toby Gerhart was going to get that football. They committed all 9 of their defenders, other than the 2 cornerbacks on the outside, to stopping the run on the inside.
Low snap, and the kick is away. And Broyles underneath it just inside the 15. Sidesteps one tackler, stutter step, and then takes a seat out of bounds at the 16-yard line. A 49-yard kick and a 2-yard return. 24-all, Oklahoma and Stanford. And flying high above, MetLife is providing today's aerial coverage of the game down below. And what a sight it is. That's the Sun Bowl cut in the foothills just outside El Paso, Texas. Oklahoma, Stanford. They start this drive. The Sooners at the 17-yard line. Pressure. Passes up top. Incomplete. And there's a flag late. Boy, it's been a battle all afternoon between Chris Evans and DeJuan Miller.
You know, I have been very impressed with Chris Evans. He's stepping in for the Johnson Batamosi. We have not seen him since early in the game.
Pass interference. Number 24 defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
But Chris Evans has been very impressive and very physical all day on the outside. Right there, you know, in the grand scheme of things, not a blatant pass interference, but he did definitely have that left arm in there, little contact up the field. DeJuan Miller able to draw that penalty.
Jim Harbaugh disagreeing, of course, with that call. First and 10 from the 32-yard line. Right up the gut. So they're going to attack Stanford. And Chris Brown puts his 200-pound body right up the middle. And time now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. Steve, I gave you some time. The question, which school has participated in the most Sun Bowls? The answer is Texas Tech with 9. Quickly comes Oklahoma back to the line and pushing the pile up to the 42-yard line. Chris Brown, the ball carrier.
Looks like they picked up the first down. They're right on it. May want to measure it to be sure. Yeah, they're going to stop and measure it.
I'll tell you, the guys in stripes all were eyeballing it, and I think it's the right call to bring the chain gang out. Oklahoma wastes no time. Getting to the line is a complicated process, but it's amazing how 11 young men can process it all and get the playoff.
It is a well-oiled machine. I mentioned earlier, we went to their practice on Friday, and to see them move around up close during practice, just one rep after another, is one of the most impressive sights I've seen. You see that Oklahoma got the first down there, but I've never seen a finely tuned machine in practice like I saw on Friday with Oklahoma.
Oklahoma now scores her 20th first down here with just under 11 minutes to play in the third quarter. So first and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Again, Jones steps back, takes the glance sideline, and now they reset. In motion goes Broyles. Play action, setting up for the deep ball. Has air underneath it, incomplete. And DeJuan Miller, the intended receiver, that ball hung just a little bit.
It was put out there in front. Landry Jones wanted to give DeJuan Miller a chance to run to that football. And right away we see Oklahoma back on the line. We see DeJuan Miller running off the field. They'll substitute in for him to get the next play run as quickly as they can.
Got to be in shape to play at Oklahoma. Second down at 10 with 10:35 to play in the third quarter. So now the play's in. Jones again shotgun. Steps up in the pocket, fires it up top, complete. Boy, his favorite receiver, there's no question, Broyles. And it's a first down up around the 44-yard line.
You know what's been happening here now, Craig? I'm impressed with the offensive adjustment this second half. Early we saw Oklahoma wanting to attack the middle of the field. Stanford showed late in the first half they could accommodate and adjust to it. Oklahoma has come out in the second half, put Broyles on the outside for the most part, and really trying to get the matchups to him on the outside.
How about 10 receptions for Broyles in this first half, 84 yards and 2 touchdowns. First and 10 inside Stanford territory at the 44-yard line. Back to the ground. Brown breaks the tackle and rumbles up to the 35-yard line. That's a big chunk on first down. That's a 9-yard pickup.
Well, Oklahoma only ran for about 40 yards in the first half. Coming out this second half, they're looking like they're a little bit more committed to it. Good run there.
Quickly back to the ground, and Brown pushes. He'll be short. They'll bring up third down. Call it a yard. Macaloso made the tackle for Stanford.
Jim Harbaugh's got to be a little bit concerned about what he's seen so far this second half. Inability of his defense to stop this 3rd and short here.
3rd and inches. Oklahoma dominating this 3rd quarter thus far. Play action pass up top. Landry Jones wants to throw to the flat, not the hands of DeMarco Murray. All right, Steve, you're the quarterback. I know what you do, but what will Bob Stoops do? 4th and 1.
Well, I'd be surprised if Oklahoma did not try to line up and run something just straight ahead up the middle with DeMarco Murray, just to try and pick up that yard.
4th and inches. Oklahoma, by the way, 7 of 19 on 4th down tries this season. A long look to the sideline by Jones. Under center, just got the play off, and I don't think he got it.
He did not get
Murray has met a wall of red, led by McAndrew, the defensive end.
Not even close, Craig. That was a super job by the Stanford front 4 to hold their ground and make sure that it's not even going to be measured. You can see they had to get a yard across that 35-yard line. DeMarco Murray never even got to the 35-yard line. Just a super job by Stanford. You know, really, I think the big mistake on that play, or on that series, was the 3rd down play before that. Landry Jones had Ryan Broyles over the ball about 10 yards in front of him with nobody anywhere near Ryan Broyles. It would have been an easy 3rd down pickup. Landry Jones didn't see it, tried to throw it outside into double coverage, ended up not making it on 4th down.
So the game tied at 24. Stanford with possession. They start at the 35-yard line. They go to Gerhart. And a pickup of 2, maybe 3 on the lean. Gerhart nearing 100 yards. Under 9 minutes to play 3rd quarter. And a 24-all tie in El Paso.
Yeah, as you said earlier, Craig, Gerhart has gone 6 consecutive games over 100 yards. We've got an injury down in the field.
Physical ball game, and that's Beal. Jeremy Beal came in with 11 sacks, 20.5 on his career. The junior out of Carrollton, Texas.
You know, Craig, I've been very impressed with this Stanford offensive line to this point. Sure, there's only been 10 passes thrown by Stanford. Pritchard's avoided a couple of rushes, but this Oklahoma defense bases themselves on not only stopping the run, but getting pressure on the quarterback. Hasn't been there today. Jeremy Beal is obviously the key to that pass rush, as you said. 11 sacks on the year.
Beal, it's good to see him walking off on his own, limping a little bit on that left leg.
Here. See what happens. Well, actually, they moved him outside. That's my fault. It was actually outside a little further. And he got rolled up by 2 or 3 Stanford players.
Adrian Taylor, their fine defensive tackle, was injured earlier in the first half with a broken leg, and Beal slowly walked to the sideline. David King, a redshirt freshman who's played in only 3 ball games, checks in. Number 90. Boy, the injuries continue to mount for Oklahoma. 2nd down and 7, Stanford.
Significant injuries.
Marisic in motion. Shotgun is Pritchard. Gerhart shot down, but always falls forward. He could have lost a couple, but it gets back to the line of scrimmage. Let's go downstairs and say hello to Sam Ryan.
Hey, Craig, well, we're seeing Toby Gerhart in action today. A pair of touchdowns. Now, he also finished 2nd in the Heisman voting, the closest ever. So what comes along with that? The rock star treatment. Now, Toby told me when he was on the plane after the Heisman Trophy presentation, a couple of uniformed police officers got on the plane when it had landed and called out his name. He looked around and was like, oh my goodness, what did I do wrong? I don't think I did anything wrong. And then when he got into the gate, he noticed there were a bunch of autograph seekers there with their Sharpies out. He said it was basically the same thing here in El Paso when they landed. Everyone had their Sharpies out. They were marking up the jackets of their sports information director. And Craig, it's almost like the scene that we see when we go to an event with Steve Berline, isn't it? They're popping out all over the place in parking lots.
Sam, you and I have had to run interference many times.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been considered anything close to a rock star. Let's not get carried away here.
4th and 5. And the punt is away. Broyles awaits. It's a short kick, takes a bounce back. And Stanford will put it down at the 39-yard line. A 21-yard punt, no return, and a timeout in El Paso. Oklahoma, Stanford tied at 24.
My name is Tavita Pritchard. I'm a senior quarterback for the Stanford Cardinal, and my New Year's resolution is to get straight A's this quarter and figure out what I'm going to do with my life, whether it be play football, coach football, or do something else.
State Bash, it's all here on the home of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Of course, that's CBS Sports. So Oklahoma, after two and outs, or 3 and outs by Stanford with the football, and a 24 all tie. Wants to throw on first down, and right off the fingertips of Jazz Reynolds. That stops the clock, 7:17 to go, 2nd down and 10.
Jazz Reynolds frustrated right there. That was, we talked about how the success Oklahoma had getting Ryan Broyles down the middle of the field. That time they tried to decoy Stanford by running Broyles down the middle of the field, hit Jazz Reynolds on the outside, missed it by inches.
Jones with 316 yards passing. And now we got whistles, and now we're going to restart. Some clock issues. 2nd down 10. Jones must walk the 2 miles during the ball game. Takes the snap. Steps up, throws, middle of the field, and Stanford read that play perfectly. Broyles was knocked down by McNally. Bo McNally, the free safety. Nice ball game.
Yeah, Bo McNally doubling Ryan Broyles from the inside. Did a great job of breaking on that ball. He was looking for Ryan Broyles to come inside the whole way. Nice solid tackle, 3rd and 5.
McNally, one of the tri-captains for Stanford. Under 7 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. OU using a lot of clock. Shotgun. Jones, blitz, dumps it, incomplete. Little skip just in front of Broyles, and that stops the clock and brings up 4th and 5.
Well, that was Chike Amajoy, number 43, coming right up the middle. Again, I don't know how you can explain, other than to say that there's inexperience in this Oklahoma offensive line to let a guy lined up over the center. Remember, that's Trent Williams playing center. He's usually an All-American tackle for Oklahoma. He turned away, let Chike Amajoy come straight up the gut. Landry Jones did not have a chance to get that ball out of there on rhythm.
So Tress Way at his own 30-yard line. Set to punt. The left footer gets it away. And a fair catch called for right at the 19-yard line. Well, tomorrow, New Year's Day rocks. West Virginia, the Mountaineers will run their attack on the Florida State Seminoles. That will be coaching legend Bobby Bowden's final game. It's the Conaca Minolta Gator Bowl. And you'll see it here on CBS. Virginia rolls in 9-3, and Florida State at 6-6. You know, look at the points and points allowed. Florida State, no question, can score. They've had trouble stopping opponents.
They have had a lot of trouble stopping opponents. You can see that the numbers do not lie.
1st and 10, Stanford, and they'll start this drive at their own 19-yard line. Pritchard steps up, throws far side, pitch and catch, caught and dropped is Whalen. So Whalen picks up about 8 yards. You know, Pritchard started shaky. Let's be honest. This is his 20th career start. Don't forget, as a junior last year, started 12 ball games.
Well, let's not kid ourselves, though. When you lose a player the caliber of Andrew Luck, you're losing significant amount of plays during the course of the game. Big plays. We got Toby Gerhart lined up in the Wildcat again there.
On 2nd down and 1, now a flag is tossed.
Substitution on the defense. 12 players.
So 12
5-yard
players.
penalty. Yardage results in a first down.
Oklahoma. So you don't have to worry about 2nd and inches. You get the first down.
You get the first down, and Tavika Pritchard wasn't even on the field there. They didn't even have a quarterback on the field for Stanford in this formation with Toby Gerhart. Here comes Tavika Pritchard back on the field now. But impressed how he's kept his composure for sure. But David Shaw, the offensive coordinator, told us that by not having Andrew Luck, who he considers to be a special player, and so does Jim Harbaugh, everybody that watches him, they lose 3 or 4 special plays a game.
So Pritchard under center on 1st and 10. Play action pass, sets up to throw. Out of the pocket, dumps. Marisick was nailed in the numbers by Ronell Lewis. This has been a physical football game.
It's been a very physical ball game. Watch right here. This is Chris Owosu right here. He's going to go up the field one-on-one on his own. This play is called to give Chris Owosu a chance to make a play. It's one-on-one. Sure, the corner's in good position, but that play is only called to give the shot up the field. It's not called to get your fullback laid out like that and get a shot in the back. Owen Marisick says, I would rather not have that ball thrown to me.
Second down at 10 with 5:26 to play, third quarter. Handoff, Gerhart. And plows his way to the 36-yard line, knocked down by Ryan Reynolds. But 3rd and 7.
But Craig, that was one of those plays, the previous play, where if you have Andrew Luck, a guy who's been in there all season, who is a quarterback who's comfortable in the pocket, he's big, he's strong arm. If he sees that coverage one-on-one, I guarantee you Jim Harbaugh would say, I take my chances. I bet anything that Andrew Luck would give that receiver, Owosu, a chance to make a play up the field for a big play.
Good look at Luck, 6'4", 235-pound, redshirt freshman out of Houston, Texas. So 3rd down and 7, under 5 to play in the third quarter.
Again, everybody up in the line for defense for Oklahoma.
Play clock worked it down to 3. In the pocket. That pass wobbles out of the hand of Pritchard, incomplete. Frank Alexander, defensive end for Oklahoma, bringing pressure. And that brings up 4th and 7.
Well, that's another ineffective drive for the Stanford Cardinal offense. 3 very uneventful drives to open up the second half.
So David Green set to punt, and Broyles is set to return the kick for Oklahoma. Left fielder gets a nice high hanger. Broyles takes it at the 15-yard line. Broyles breaks the tackle, turns it upfield, 20. Watch out. Broyles at the 30, 35, 40. Broyles knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. The explosive power of Broyles. 48-yard punt and a 42-yard return.
Well, Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator for Stanford, told us most effectively, I think, and Ryan Broyles is a great example. He said, you know, Stanford, everybody talks about how smart their football team is, but IQ does not translate to the 40-yard dash. Ryan Broyles is a fast, open field, explosive runner, and if you don't contain him and aren't disciplined in your lanes, he can make you pay in a hurry.
Broyles has done everything today. 3 touchdown receptions, and that punt return up to the 42-yard line. So 1st and 10, Oklahoma, and a 24-all tie. Timeout. Play clock rolling down to 3, and now I hear whistles and a timeout.
Charge timeout. Oklahoma.
So Oklahoma uses a timeout. So 24 all. And in Oklahoma's first game, Steve, against Brigham Young, here's Sam Bradford, injured his throwing shoulder, forcing him to miss the next 3 games. Now he comes back 6 weeks later, but on this play, Bradford re-injures that shoulder against the Longhorns. And of course, this time, the injury would end his season. And what you see today is Bradford on the sideline with a red Oklahoma cap.
And those numbers are astronomical. How impressive, and really done it consistently over the past couple years. What this Oklahoma team has lost, obviously, it speaks for itself. But I had a chance to talk with Sam Bradford on Friday at practice. He's now back throwing the Nerf football. Just got cleared to do that a couple days ago. So he's moving in the right direction, eager to prove to the NFL people out there that he can get back to his old form.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They give the ball to Murray. Slides it off the left side, pushes the pile, and he'll move inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. So a pickup of 4, and the clock rolls up on 4 minutes to play here in the third. Murray and Brown, good combination of backs. Murray ran for nearly 700 yards. Brown did, and they're going up top. Rattery reaches in.
Complete.
Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
Landry Jones complete to number 47.
Well, watch Bo McNally right here with the play action, how he steps up. Rattery's on this side, just runs right past him for the touchdown. Or down to the 2-yard line.
1st and goal at the 2.
You can just see that play action coming out in the second half. Committed to the running game. That play action got Bo McNally a little bit overly aggressive, and that gave Oklahoma the big play opportunity.
36-yard gain, and it's 1st and goal. Under center, Jones. Hand off, up the gut, powering his way in. Stop short of the goal line. That's DeMarco Murray.
Well, we've seen earlier in the ball game Stanford stepping up in a short yardage situation. They're not backing down, but now the ball inches from the goal line for Oklahoma.
Crow is your fullback. Here comes Murray, up and over. Murray looks like he came off a trampoline. His 8th rushing touchdown of the season.
No doubt about that one. He looked like he was shot out of a cannon.
And that breaks the 24-all tie. And the extra point to come. O'Hara is in to try the extra point. And just snuck it through. Time now for the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Action Cam.
Yeah, you get a unique perspective from this camera behind the scenes, down almost at field level. You can see the elevation that DeMarco Murray took on that play over the top. He said, enough of this trying to slam it up in there. I'm going to go right over the top, because there were Stanford Cardinal defenders in the hole. Penetration had been accomplished by this defensive front, but DeMarco Murray said he would take it over on his own and fly into the end zone.
4 plays, 42 yards, and just 1:23 off the clock. This has been a 3rd quarter for Oklahoma. They took the opening drive, scored, and now they knock in their 2nd touchdown here of the quarter with 2:59 to play.
Well, in this Stanford team now, they're in a very precarious situation. They need to show this Oklahoma team that they're not going to lay down for them here in the second half. It's been all Oklahoma this whole second half to this point. Stanford has done nothing offensively, has not come close to stopping Oklahoma defensively. They've got to answer with the drive here.
So 2 unanswered touchdowns by Oklahoma. Kick taken 5 yards deep. And here comes Owusu. And boy, there's a flag tossed at midfield. That was a great throw. It lands inside the 20-yard line.
That might be the longest penalty flag thrown I've ever seen in my life. That flag threw from 35 yards away.
Here's the call.
During the return, holding 27 on the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Now, don't forget, later in the ball game, we'll have the play of the game presented by Outback Steakhouse. And Steve, at this point, there's been plenty of plays to choose from.
There has been no shortage of plays. Both sides of the ball. There's been big turnovers, punt blocks, touchdown passes, catches, Toby Gerhart runs.
So Stanford down a touchdown. Will start this drive at their own 15-yard line. Time to make a statement. Gerhart up the middle, little shovel step, breaks a tackle, spins. And look at the power of Gerhart. Up to the 23-yard line.
That is just sheer brute physical strength. Look at it from behind right here. And you saw pulling around Andrew Phillips, number 71, leading. That is the power O play that they kind of call their bread and butter play. Just straight up the gut with a big offensive lineman pulling to clear out any rubbish in the way.
And everyone we talked at Oklahoma was amazed at the size of Gerhart, but how fast his feet are. And you saw there a couple of stutter step moves, picked up an extra 3 yards.
Exactly right.
2nd down and 2, pitch out. Gerhart. There's the cut, lowers the pads, and he is dropped. No gain on the play. In fact, maybe lost a yard back to the 22-yard line.
Very, very solid tackle that time by Ryan Reynolds. He left no doubt with Toby Gerhart that he was going to bring it and hit him flush, just as his coach Brent Venables was asking his team to do all week.
Now, Steve, what's going on here? Oklahoma's beginning to zero in on Gerhart. Someone else has to step up. That's 3rd down and 2.
This is the big play of the game right now for Stanford. If they don't convert this 3rd down, Oklahoma has all the momentum and going to get good field position again.
Play action pass on the rollout. Pritchard trying to string it out and then throws it away. Great downfield coverage by Oklahoma, and again coming strong on the heat, Ryan Reynolds, the middle linebacker.
Not fooled at all. You're going to see the play action fake to Toby Gerhart to the right side, and then Tavita Pritchard just takes it on the outside. They're hoping to get Gerhart in the flat or the big tight end. Dre to the corner route just didn't happen. Neither one of them open. Oklahoma was not fooled one bit.
4th down. David Green needs a big punt. And the coverage needs to corral Broyles. He'll run up on it. Oh, he's hit. And a flag. Ball is loose. But Broyles laid out at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that was, I'm surprised that Broyles is even on his feet right now.
That was Batamosi.
It was Batamosi. And that was not good of Batamosi to make that hit right there. I like the aggressive play. I like the style. Jim Harbaugh not happy at all. But I don't think there was any doubt that Broyles did not have a chance to make that catch.
Harbaugh is about 15 yards on the field. And he is hot.
Well, the punt returner he has to have the opportunity to catch the football. Right there you can see Batamosi did not give him that opportunity. He hit him before the ball actually got there.
There is no foul for kick-catch interference. Player was blocked in the receiver. Stanford recovered the ball and unable to advance the ball. 1st and 10.
Wow! What a turn of events here.
Blocked into him. I have got to see that. I don't know if I agree with that one bit.
Push from behind.
Little bit of a push, but he wrapped up on the hit.
You know, that was Jonathan Nelson who gave just a little push. Oh, I don't know.
Wow, that Bob Stoops has got to be fuming about that.
Well, we just talked about changing momentum. That play changed it, or could.
Jim Harbaugh must have been pretty impressive in his argument. I do not understand how that call could really be made in that situation. Bob Stoops has every right to be upset right now.
Well, the officials just trying to control the Oklahoma sideline because they are in total disagreement. And you're right, Harbaugh got his point across. And now Stanford with new life at the 36-yard line.
And they're in the Wildcat with Toby Gerhart again in the backfield.
So the Heisman runner-up. They've had trouble getting this play off. And there's the direct snap. He tries the left side and is pushed down at the 34-yard line. A 2-yard gain, and Ronell Lewis, who's been very active today, linebacker, the freshman, with the tackle.
Well, there's no messing around. When they go to that Wildcat with Toby Gerhart in the backfield, Stanford is not trying to deceive anybody. They are coming straight ahead one way or the other. They might run a little counter action, but it's going to be somewhere between the tackles.
Well, Bob Stoops is not trying to deceive anybody either. How upset he is on that call.
I understand.
Under a minute to play in the third quarter, 2nd down and 8. Well, you know what? Pritchard just pulled back from center with no football.
Pritchard forgot the snap count. I wish I could say that never happened to me. Quarterback calls a snap count.
Ball start. 14 offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
It does happen. It does happen. You see right there, he thought the snap was on 1. He had called it on 2. Quarterback can't do that either. You don't see it happen very often, though.
No.
And it's not.
Hey, Steve, we've seen a little bit of everything.
We have.
In the Sun Bowl.
We have, no doubt.
2nd down, 13, clock running. Under now 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. Penalties beginning to really stack up on both sides of the football. Gerhart takes the direct snap. Up the middle he goes to the 40. No gain on the play.
Oh, penalties.
Yeah, look at that. There's piling on everywhere. Pushing and shoving on both sides.
Very, very bad decision by Gerald McCoy, the All-American defensive tackle.
And
that's going to go.
After the play was over. Personal foul. 93 defense. 15 yards from the end of the play.
That's
first down.
Gerald McCoy, the junior from Oklahoma City, and you saw Harbaugh give him the first down. That's exactly right.
Very bad decision. And Stanford basically showing they don't have a lot of confidence in Toby Pritchard, going second and long to the Wildcat, and they're late in the play right there. Your defense is playing well. You got them stopped. It's third and long, and you lose your poise.
Boy, we end a wild third quarter here in El Paso. Oklahoma 31, Stanford 24. We'll be back to the 76th Brooks Sun Bowl after this word from your local station. And down the stretch of the Brooks Sun Bowl, buckle up for a wild fourth quarter. 31-24 Oklahoma. Craig Bolerjack, Steve Berline. I'm going to ask you this question. Emotions important. Have to keep them in check to a point down the stretch here.
Well, Craig, it's an emotional game, and there's a lot of intensity out there on the field right now. But Gerald McCoy, the All-American defensive tackle, he knows better than that. In that situation, you are in control. Sure, you're upset. You don't like what's going on the field. You've got to be able to think clearly and hold back and not cost your team a first down. Give momentum back to Stanford.
So Stanford starts the fourth quarter at the 25-yard line. They go back across the field. It's pitch and catch. Dre, the tight end, still on his feet and tackled down inside the 10. Boy, the flow went to the near side. And how about the throw? Pritchard, that was a wide open throw on the other side.
Well, what can you say? Jim Dre, the big tight end, it was the old, it's the old whoop-de-doo screen where the tight end takes a dive, acts like he was blocking somebody. Oklahoma completely lost him. The flow of the play was to the right. Pritchard hit him back on the other side. Big play.
First grab for Dre on the day, 1st and 10. Check that 1st and goal now at the 8-yard line. Gerhart from the Wildcat inside the 5 and pushes the pile up to the 4-yard line.
Boy, that was a good 5-yard run right there by Toby Gerhart again in the Wildcat formation. Just that power play off the left side behind that big offensive line, Jonathan Martin and Andrew Phillips. You bring a couple of big tight ends over there, and it's tough to stop.
2nd down goal at the 4. A minute into the fourth quarter. Gerhart will take the direct snap. He'll go up the left side, follows his blockers, and Oklahoma strings it out. He lost that ball. They're going to mark him out, though, at the 4-yard line. No gain. 3rd down and goal.
Well, you made the call right there, Craig. Oklahoma did do a great job of stringing it out. And a play like that, when there's so many people pulling and trying to get involved on the Stanford side of the ball, trying to get out in front of Toby Gerhart, the best thing Oklahoma can do is just try to stalemate him, hold him, not give a seam to Toby Gerhart so he can get up in there and get those shoulders square to the goal line.
I'll tell you, Oklahoma now proving their worth, just how good they are defensively, Steve. It's tough to run against this team, tough to score against this team. They're in the top 10 in 3 major categories: points allowed, total yardage, and run. 3rd down goal. Gerhart. Stop, drop, no gain. Travis Lewis, who came in with 100 tackles on the season, makes one big play. Now 4th and goal.
That's 2 great plays in a row by the Oklahoma defense, and I think Jim Harbaugh is making the right call here, going for the field goal.
Go for points.
Yeah, you take points. There's still 13 minutes left in this ball game. You got to figure you're going to get another opportunity.
So Whitaker will try a field goal of 21. High snap, hold, kick is away and good from 21. So Whitaker closes the gap. Oklahoma 31, Stanford 27.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Well, Toby Gerhart living up to all the hype. 2 first-half touchdown runs, 20 carries, 103 yards for Gerhart, and there's still more to go. That one, fumbled, and he grabs his own fumble for a touchdown. How about Ryan Broyles today? 3 touchdown receptions. That is a Sun Bowl record receiving. 11 grabs on the day, 127 yards. It's been a Broyles and Gerhart kind of day.
It has been every bit Gerhart and Broyles all day long. Those have been the key players, both sides of the ball. Broyles, I think he's got a little bit of gas left in his tank, and they're going to be counting on him to do it here on this drive here for Oklahoma. Try and maintain control of this ball game. Stanford gained a little confidence on that last drive. Pressure's going to be on Stanford's defense, so here, Craig. Oklahoma has been hard to stop this second half.
You saw in that graphic, there's just something about the Sun Bowl. How close games are decided. And we're heading down the stretch for a beautiful finish. 31-27 Oklahoma. Short kick, it hangs at the 5-yard line. Madu. And tackled down to the 22-yard line. And that's where Oklahoma will start the drive. So Landry Jones getting some final instructions. And Steve, right now, Stanford's defense, you got to just step up big right now.
You really do. And I would be concerned if I was Ron Lynn. The second half, Oklahoma's done a much better job of mixing the run with the pass. They've changed their style of attack in the passing game from putting Broyles down the middle of the field to getting him the ball on the screens and on the outside. It's worked very well for Oklahoma.
So 1st and 10, and this drive starts at the 23-yard line. This in Rattery, the tight end in motion. They'll keep it on the ground and hand it off to DeMarco Murray, stacked up and stopped at the 25-yard line. And he'll pick up 1. And pick your red jersey. Everybody in good pursuit by Stanford.
Well, they're going to need a lot more of that to keep Oklahoma under control this drive here. They've had trouble.
Blown back on 2nd and 8. Play action. Jones rolls out. Throws a strike up top. Incomplete. Right on the hands of Broyles, who tried to put a toe down.
Well, let's check it out and see where that toe is. Boy, oh boy, that's a tough one to call.
Boy, they threw in a double coverage. Yancey and Thomas both there. Left corner and strong safety.
It looked like you see a little bit of black come up with those toes dragging.
3rd down and 8. And the clock stops with 12:10. They're going to review it?
They're going to review it.
So this play under review.
Well, Craig, I think it was a fantastic throw by Landry Jones, but the one thing that if I were coaching him up right now, I would have told him he had time to get that ball in the air earlier. Broyles was open earlier, and it just seemed like Landry couldn't get his feet under him and in the right position to make the throw any earlier than he did. But Broyles was more open early, and if he could have gotten that ball in the air and on him quicker, it wouldn't have been an issue. But let's look. Watch his left foot. As the ball hits his hands, that left foot comes down and it drags right there.
But my question, Steve, I know we can't see reverse it, but did he actually have possession now or then?
That's a good question. We can see right here when that ball hits his hand. It's in his chest right now. That left foot, if we let it roll a little further, you'll see the rubber kick up right there. That little speck of rubber right there from the field, I think is going to be evidence enough to consider this to be a catch. There was no bobbling of the football.
No, on that last angle, correct.
And in college, you only have to have the 1 foot in bounds.
And you saw the pellets of rubber on this turf kick up. That's just a great replay. I tell you, that's just great concentration for Ryan Broyles.
The more I see of this kid, the more impressed I am. He's only a sophomore again. He is lightning in a bottle. Harbaugh had as good a view as anybody right there on the sideline.
He was the first one to say no. Incomplete.
No doubt in his mind he's making the call.
The officials taking their time with 12:10 to play. You know what? Officials, they get berated at times, Mr. Berline. But you know what? I like the fact, get it right, because this is a big one for both these teams. Oklahoma trying to finish strong, as is Stanford. Stanford going the right direction. Oklahoma, of course, trying to recover from injury and move forward.
Well, it cannot be overstated what a great job that Jim Harbaugh and his staff have done in a short period of time.
After further review, on the field stands of an incomplete pass.
Wow. I'm surprised.
I am too. I am too. And it's got to be conclusive by the video replay. To me, that was enough to overturn it, but it was not conclusive to the decision makers, and that's all that really matters.
So 3rd down and 8, and 12:10 remaining 4th quarter. Shotgun, Landry Jones. Stanford on the blitz. Jones throws incomplete. Had to get rid of it or he was going down. And bringing Amajoy, bringing pressure. And Amajoy's had a free reign all day.
They have really had a hard time picking him up right up the gut. You had Bo McNally, the safety, and Chike Amajoy coming up the middle, and it's almost like the offensive line for Oklahoma is not seeing him, which is hard to believe because he's right up in their face.
So Tress Way is set to punt at his own 10-yard line. Doug Baldwin back to receive the kick for Stanford. Pressure, kick is away. Turns it over and takes a big bounce, and Baldwin's going to let this one roll inside the 20. Big punt all the way down to the 15. Boomer Sooner. A 60-yard punt. CBS Sports presentation of the Brute Sun Bowl is sponsored by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Orbitz. Visit Orbitz.com today and save. And by the 76th Annual Brute Sun Bowl, sponsored by Brute. Brute, the essence of man. 31-27, Oklahoma with 11:49 to play in the 4th. And Sunday, the NFL on CBS wraps up the playoff package with doubleheader action featuring the Steelers and the Dolphins in the nightcap. Ray Lewis and the Ravens take on the Raiders. Check local listings. It all begins with JB, Dan, Coach Shannon, and Boomer on the NFL Today. You know, you look at the playoff picture, Denver is complicated, but if the Jets and the Ravens win, they're in.
There's a lot of different scenarios, and we know, of course, the Ravens, coached by Jim Harbaugh's brother, John Harbaugh. They win tomorrow, they're in.
Well, if brother wins, he caps off a heck of a year. Jim Harbaugh. They have the football down by 4. Pedaling back, Pritchard steps up and is going to be dropped inside the 10-yard line. And bringing pressure, McCoy.
And that is the first sack of the day.
And McCoy shaken up.
Yep, hobbling off the field. What great effort out of Gerald McCoy. You're going to see him right here in the middle, just shoot right at the gut. Actually, he came from the other side, but boy, what a tremendous job getting back there and putting that pressure on the inside gap. This is an Oklahoma defense that has had at least 2 sacks in every game this year. First sack of the day against Stanford. Now, Stanford, the strength of their offense, aside from Toby Gerhart, is their offensive line, giving up only, that's the 7th sack of the year.
A loss of 4. Check that 6. 2nd down and 16. Hand off Gerhart. Room, here he comes. Got the motor run at 25. And bucked out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Quentin Carter. I don't know if he wanted anything to do with him, but it was enough to intimidate Gerhart out of bounds.
Well, there aren't many people that can get Toby Gerhart to run to the sideline, but right there, Quentin Carter did. Huge play for the Stanford offense, though. Boy, you have a sack if you're Oklahoma on defense. You got them backed up in their own end zone, and then Toby Gerhart pops the big one and really just drives a little dagger into you.
26-yard pickup, 129 yards on 30 carries. And a pair of touchdowns to go with it. Clock under 11 minutes. And Stanford trying to put a drive together. Watch out, in round. Owusu, Oklahoma not fooled. Lewis was there.
Not even close to being fooled. A little razzle-dazzle by Stanford. You can question it all you want now. It didn't work out. You can say it was a bad call at a bad time, but I understand what David Shaw and Jim Harbaugh were thinking. This is an aggressive Oklahoma defense to try and catch them in pursuit. Come back the other way, but no fooling them right there. Good play, good sound assignments for Oklahoma.
Pritchard in the pocket. Puts a touch on it, up top, incomplete. Oh, Whalen upset, like to have that ball back. And you know what, Pritchard, maybe the best touch of the football all day.
Might have been. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more air on that ball. Let Ryan Whalen run to the sideline a little bit more forward. Tavita Pritchard, he knew he had a chance at Ryan Whalen up the field. You don't get many shots there. You got to hit him when you get the opportunity.
Steve, one of the big stats of the day. As Stanford looks at 3rd and 17, the Cardinal just 1 of 10 on 3rd down conversions.
And this is a team, Stanford, that's pretty darn good. First in the Pac-10 this year in 3rd down conversions. A big one right here.
From the I formation. Draw play up the middle with a stutter step, Gerhart. And Oklahoma had his number. Travis Lewis, Quentin Carter in on the tackle.
That's good patience. I think a good decision by Jim Harbaugh to hold off, not go forward here. You got plenty of time on the clock. Still over 9 minutes in the game. There's really nothing there for Toby Gerhart, but it was 3rd and 16. You're not expecting to get the first down when you call a draw play in that situation.
Broyles is back to receive the punt, and a good one. Drives him back inside the 20-yard line. Flags are down, and Broyles is bumped out of bounds at the 22-yard line. I see 2 flags.
Really a bad decision for Oklahoma there. Really had nothing to do with the play, and I believe it was Desmond Jackson, number 6, that made the block in the back.
Well, this will push Oklahoma way back.
During the return, look at block in the back. 6 on the return team. Half the distance, first down.
And Steve, I believe Bob Stoops was the first man to meet him. Timeout, 9:21 to play in El Paso. MetLife providing today's aerial coverage. Look for more beautiful aerials as MetLife teams up with CBS around the new year. Now, before the ball game, Cardinal head coach Jim Harbaugh delivered a message. That message very clear. Believe, believe.
Leave no regrets out there. Sir, I got a question for you. What we like to ask around here. And you answer. Do you believe? I believe. Do you believe? I believe. Do you believe? I believe. As fast as you can, as hard as you can. As hard as you can. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, Coach Harbaugh, the fire burns and burns deep.
No emotion there. None whatsoever.
9:21 to play. Stanford and Oklahoma. They have battled from the start. Ups and downs, penalties, emotion, late hits. I mean, it's been a physical ball game. We've seen 17 penalties, Steve, in this football game.
Really important this drive here that Stanford's defense step up to give their offense a chance to get this game back.
1st and 10 from the 10, and Chris Brown, the running back from the tailback, pops through and picks up 2. So 2nd down, clock runs up on 9 minutes to play.
Really been a well-played second half by this Oklahoma team, both offensively and defensively. They've dictated to Stanford this whole second half.
Quickly back under center, Jones, again the handoff, Brown off the right side, maybe a yard. 3rd down and long for Oklahoma.
Now see, this, in my opinion, Craig, is where this hurry up kind of hurts you. You know, you'd like to take your time a little bit more, use a little clock, especially if you're going to just run the ball up the middle. Why don't you let a little time run off that clock and take away some of the comfort zone for Stanford?
3rd down and 7. Landry Jones. Stanford showing blitz. Here they come again up the middle. They throw middle of the field. It's caught. And a 1st down. Broyles has been the backbreaker for Stanford today.
Well, this is a great throw by Landry Jones. First off, watch number 92, Sione Fua right here. The ball was thrown right behind him. Tremendous confidence by Landry Jones to wait and let Broyles run past Fua and make that big conversion.
12 catches, 148 yards. That one picked up 21. He has really broken the back of Stanford. 18th play of 10 yards or more. Broyles goes in motion on 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Rolling out, Jones throws complete to the 42, and Broyles again with the grab. He is just having a career kind of day.
Kinda?
How about he is?
I think he is.
I'll put a stamp. 13 receptions, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns. Oklahoma will try the ground. Breaking the tackle is Brown. And he's thrown back to the 41-yard line. Bo McNally. He has played a terrific game from the free safety spot.
He really has. He's had the big interception, a lot of big plays for him. But I'll tell you what, for Ryan Broyles, that 13 catches today, Craig, is an Oklahoma record. He'd had 11 twice earlier in the year. Today, 13. That's the record.
3rd down and 1. Up the middle. 1st down. Brown. Close to midfield. They'll mark him at the 49. So move the chains, and Oklahoma's drive continues.
And see, this is where a true championship caliber defense will step up. One of these 3rd down situations, they've got to step up and stop Oklahoma. Especially the previous one was 3rd and long.
Jones will shut the pass. DeMarco Murray has room.
DeMarco Murray
out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Stops the clock with 6:53 to play.
Very good presence by Landry Jones here. You're going to see he's looking up the field, not thinking about DeMarco Murray at all, but realizes right there that if I can just get the ball to my playmaker, we got a chance at a big play. Good poise by Landry Jones there.
25-13 in 1st downs. Dominated by Oklahoma. They're inside Stanford territory now at the 40-yard line. Murray, the tailback. Murray gets the call. Up the middle, lost 2. And the first to hit, Murray, Shane Scove. Well, reset as we look at the clock running up on 6 minutes to play. Stanford, 3 timeouts remaining. Oklahoma 2. And Jim Harbaugh knows it's getting to be crunch time.
He also knows, yeah, his defense has got to step up here. You got a 2nd and 11.
6 minutes to play. Jones glances at the sideline once again on 2nd down and 11. Play action in the pocket. Up top he goes, incomplete. Just over the outstretched hand of James Hanna, is tied in.
You know, Craig, one of the other big losses for this Oklahoma offense was Jermaine Gresham, the All-American tight end, 26 career TDs, and he's the guy that they would love to have on the field to go to in that situation right there.
Sure, you're not kidding. 26 career touchdowns.
Yeah.
3rd down, 11. Three wideouts, top of your screen. Jones, good protection, steps up in traffic and delivers the ball 1st down to Rattery. Big time throw.
You know, to me, there's no excuse for this, Craig. There were 4 or 5 Stanford players right around that football, and it's just a matter of executing and making the break on that football. There's no reason why an Oklahoma guy can come out of that grouping of people with the football when you've got so many red shirts right there around it.
Over 400 yards passing now today for Oklahoma. 1st and 10. Clock under 5.5 to play at the 31-yard line. Murray gets the carry and is tackled down after a pickup of 3. Macaluso, number 44. Nick's been on a lot of stops, the middle linebacker, along with Scove. Now the clock becomes an issue for Stanford, a friend of Oklahoma. 12th play of this drive. 5 minutes to play, 2nd and 7. deep. He'll take the ball, slices through past the 25 up to the 24. I thought Stanford had him dropped for a loss, but instead just turned the pads enough to slip through.
Well, they did have him. They had him strung out pretty darn well. But what you saw right there was the ability for DeMarco Murray to plant off that right foot and slash. Very similar to Marcus Allen, an old teammate of mine back in my Oakland Raider days. Cutting through there, turning those shoulders, not giving him a square chest to hit and knock back.
3rd down and 3. From the 24 of Stanford. Jones steps and throws, and the completion, DeJuan Miller. Now, we haven't heard from DeJuan much. It's been a Broyles game, Ryan Broyles, but Miller had a couple of big catches in the first half.
He sure did. That's his 7th catch on the day. And what you're going to see again is just another example of Oklahoma stepping up and making a play when the opportunity is there. They've had 3 huge 3rd down conversions. Look at the number of first downs, double the number of first downs for Oklahoma today over Stanford. But right there, Oklahoma again stepping up and making the big play when they have the opportunity. Stanford not doing it defensively.
And Steve, this drive continues. Play clock runs down to 3 and a timeout.
Charge timeout. Stanford.
Stanford wants a timeout. 3:45 to play. Bob Stoops showing emotion down the stretch. Oklahoma on top. High above the Sun Bowl here in El Paso. Oklahoma 31, Stanford 27. Monday on CSI Miami. See it how it all began. The science, the shades. Every team has a beginning. CSI Miami Monday only here on CBS. So the timeout situation. Stanford just burned 1. They've got 2 remaining. Oklahoma 2 if they need them. It's 3:45 to play in the 4th. And this will be the 14th play of this drive. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Handoff goes off to Murray. Stanford stands him up. And maybe a yard inside the 15 to the 14. Clock runs, and there's Harbaugh rushing in, wants a timeout.
Yeah, good time to throw a timeout out there. You might as well try and get the ball back with as much time on the clock as possible. But now you're putting the game in the hands of your defense now. You're saying, guys, we're going to take a timeout, try and preserve.
3:35.
Well, Harbaugh, you know what? He's been able to get the ear of the officials today. He wanted time back on the clock, and I think he got it.
He did, but I think it's a good call. But again, going back to finish the thought on the defense, this defense they've given up 4 3rd down conversions on this drive. 14 plays this drive has been. When you're counting on your defense to step up and get the ball back. That's why Jim Harbaugh kicked the field goal. He's saying my defense is going to get the ball back for me. They have not been able to answer that challenge yet on this drive. 14 plays, not even close.
Stanford's defense huddle around the defensive coordinator, Ron Lynn. When we talked to Ron, he knew that he had a chore, even though, Oklahoma's been beat up and injured. He knew this offense still was potent with Landry Jones under center.
No gain on that last carry.
3:35 left to play. 2nd down 10. In motion, Rattery. Jones rolls out, ball batted down, incomplete. Thomas Kaiser at 6'5". He played like he was about a 6'10" center.
Not fooled by the play action. Mr. Kaiser right there, you see come up the field, and truly I think it was a benefit for Oklahoma that ball was knocked down, because Rattery would have been drilled right as that ball was getting there. You see Harbaugh liking that. Didn't have to waste a timeout either.
3:31 to play. 3rd down and 10, and 3rd down conversion's a key on this drive for Oklahoma. Shotgun. Jones steps up, throws, complete, ball's on the deck, incomplete. DeMarco Murray had it, dropped it, 4th and 10.
Richard Sherman was right there to make the hit anyway. Even if DeMarco Murray would have caught that ball, it would have been, it's actually very beneficial to Stanford. Last 2 plays of this drive for Oklahoma, incomplete passes. They get to preserve their 2 timeouts. We'll see what happens with this field goal attempt by Patrick O'Hara. But Stanford's going to have plenty of time on the clock.
O'Hara will try a 32-yard field goal. Kicked a 28-yarder in the opening quarter. Good snap. Kick is up.
Missed it.
No.
Missed it.
Wow. 3:21 to play. 2 timeouts for Stanford, and they have the football down by 4.
And you're going to see this ball just outside as you're facing the camera, the left upright, the right upright from the kicking standpoint. No doubt about it, was not good. It was a good hold, good snap, no pressure, just pushed it out a little bit to the right. And now does not change the situation for Stanford at all. They still need a touchdown, but this could be to win the game now.
So Stanford with the football, 3:21 on the clock. And Toby Gerhart, the senior from Tacoma, Washington, has the ball in his hands. Low snap, dropped it, and a flag is down.
Snap. Ball start offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So you move it back 5, and the 9th flag thrown on Stanford. Just missed it.
He said that's no good. No doubt about it.
So the penalty makes it 1st and 15. 18 flags thrown between Oklahoma and Stanford. Gerhart up the middle. And the big body pushes for 5 to the 20-yard line. Coming up on 3 minutes to play. Steve, you talk about big plays. If you need one now, timeouts, I'm corrected. 1 remaining for Stanford. Oklahoma with 2.
You don't want to start off the most important drive of the game of your year with a 5-yard motion penalty, but Stanford time to make up for it.
2nd down, 10, incomplete, short. Gerhart trying to dig it out of the turf. That stops the clock. 2:48 to play, but 3rd down and 10.
3rd and 10, tough situation to be in. Toby Gerhart, the senior, he's been in big, tough situations before. Led the victory, the surprising victory last year against USC for the Stanford Cardinal, but now he's never had a bigger play than this one right here. This is his opportunity to show what he's made of. Let's see if he can answer the bell.
Have to convert on this 3rd down and 10. 2:48 to play from the 20-yard line. Pritchard from the shotgun, rolling. Pumps, goes back across the field. Gerhart has it at the 20. Stiff arms and is tackled down short of the 1st down at the 27. David King, number 90, stayed at home and makes the tackle.
That is a tremendous play by David King. All the action said the ball is coming to the right side. Only Toby Gerhart leaking out back to the left. Stanford uses their last time out here. But look at the discipline. David King, you can see him right there. He just said, wait a minute, that guy's a pretty good player that just slipped behind me. Made Toby Gerhart throw the ball over the top, which bought him some time to turn and run down Toby Gerhart.
You know, that's the great point, because King actually helped himself.
He really did.
With that ball being pushed up and over the top.
His instinct to react back to Toby Gerhart and then stay in that passing lane, forced Toby Gerhart to put it up and over him, allowed him to get that time to go run down Toby Gerhart.
So the Cardinal are gathered around Jimmy Harbaugh. 4th and 2, no timeouts remaining. 2:28 to play. Well, you have to get the 4th and 2 to keep this drive alive. Still a lot of time on the clock. And of course, you can use the sideline with no timeouts.
Yep, you can. But you're not really concerned about the time right now. You're concerned about finding a way to make those 2 yards. Do you put the ball in the hands of Toby Gerhart? I'm sure that's what Oklahoma's thinking right now.
Well, the Heisman Trophy runner-up. He's been the go-to guy all year. 32 carries, 135 yards.
Right here is Ryan Whalen, your most dependable receiver. If you're going to throw the football, that's who you'd want to go to most likely.
Gerhart alongside Pritchard on 4th down and 2. Rolling is Pritchard. 4th and 2, pressure's on, throws it up for grabs. And incomplete. Gerhart was trying to come back to help his quarterback, DeMontre Hurst, a freshman. knocks that ball down, and Oklahoma will have possession.
Well, this play was designed to get the ball quickly in the flat to Owusu, but Oklahoma played it very well. Tavita Pritchard was not counting on holding that ball for that long. You're going to see he'd like to throw that ball right now. There's Owusu, but you saw Oklahoma playing it very, very well. That was Jonathan Nelson coming up to break on that ball. Huge play by a great defensive ball club in Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma, so much frustration this year. This team held together, and Bob Stoops and the Sooners on their way to their 8th win. Still though 2:18 to play. There's a look at Toby Gerhart. He has been a tough runner today. 32 carries, 135 yards, and now timeout called.
Well, you can't say enough about the job that this Oklahoma defense did in the second half. And really, the whole Oklahoma team, their offense came out and scored 2 touchdowns to take control of this ball game to start the second half, and Stanford was not able to answer.
You know, I got a question, Steve. With the timeout used by Oklahoma, and you know about the hurry up, do you switch gears now and say, let's run 3 plays, you call them, and you let the clock be your best friend?
I think you have to. I mean, I would be extremely surprised if Oklahoma did anything other than run the ball right up the middle of the field and use every second on that play clock every time. They know that Stanford is now out of timeouts. There's no way for them to stop the clock. You're going to get the 1-2 minute stoppage, but that's about it. So I'm sure that's exactly what Bob Stoops was having his staff tell the players. Hey, we are not in hurry up mode. We're trying to use every second we possibly can.
Jones goes under center, and he'll take a seat and happy to lose a few yards and let the clock run.
Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't know why you'd want to lose yardage. Either way, this clock is running down to the 2-minute drill.
Now you see the play clock at 30. (31-27) Oklahoma. OU trailed at the half. They came out, made a statement, Steve, in the 3rd quarter.
Well, they sure did. They've been in control this whole second half.
Play clock to 3. Jones takes the snap, and again he's going to run back, let some clock run at the 40, and then hook slides down at the 36-yard line. Landry Jones. Well, this is a rarity. You don't see Oklahoma use clock. It's all about the hurry up.
It sure is.
But this is about a bowl win. Bob Stoops, 11 straight bowl games, 4-6 coming in. He's going to jump up to 5-6. They'll be 8-5 to finish up the season, Steve. And you know what? Good things ahead for Stanford with Jim Harbaugh. They'll drop down to 8-5, but still a lot of young talent.
A lot to build on. They've got their redshirt freshman quarterback, Andrew Luck, will be full speed, ready to go next year. A lot to be excited about.
It's got the play off Jones and tackle from behind.
And Landry Jones. He's that's too bad. He gets up
on the last play. Sure did.
Yeah.
What a game he put together. He engineered a fine ball game.
Yeah, he should have got down a little bit quicker on that play. He had no idea that pressure was coming from the backside.
This will be Oklahoma's first bowl win since the Holiday Bowl of 2005. The Sooners beat Oregon that day 17-14. Hard fought here in El Paso as Bob Stoops and Jim Harbaugh meet at midfield. Oklahoma with the win of 31-27. Time now to check out the play of the game presented by Outback Steakhouse.
Well, it was the good play action play right there, hitting Rattery up the field. It set up the go-ahead touchdown for Oklahoma. That was DeMarco Murray flying over the top, but the big play was the perfectly executed play action pass that set it up.
For Steve Berline, Sam Ryan, I'm Craig Bolerjack. We say so long for the Bruce Sun Bowl. The final score, Oklahoma 31, Stanford 27. Tomorrow at 1 Eastern, CBS Sports presents the Conaca Minolta Gator Bowl. West Virginia taking on Florida State as coaching legend Bobby Bowden says goodbye. Oklahoma wins the Sun Bowl. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.